god,
you're
you guys.
refunding my money, you have to give me cash.
You guys pay with debit, right? You guys pay with a debit, right?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, sir.
If you're telling
It doesn't matter, sir.
If you're telling me you're not giving me my food, I want my money back
I
in
didn't say
cash.
that. I'm not giving you your food. I just request you guys to fresh food, right?
This is
Fresh.
I don't want to park.
Celebrity McDonald's. This is Edmonton,
I'm not-
Alberta, girl. Okay?
I'm not
You're
parking.
In Edmonton. Where are you from?
Parking my car.
Where are you from?
English.
Where are you from?
Get a career. Do
Seriously?
something for your life.
Seriously?
You're so sad. It's
Seriously?
Now,
Seriously?
anyways, grab us
That
some food.
okay. I was so nice to you guys. Why are you using F word for me?
I don't even know why you're talking to the passenger of my vehicle when I ordered the food at the window, and I'm telling you that I don't want to park in reserve stall number 2.
And they are using F word for me like single time. You guys listen to her.
You're telling me that you want me to park. You're telling me that you want me to park. You're telling me that you want me to park because you're on a timer to make your time good at McDonald's.
Of course.
I don't care. I don't care about your time at McDonald's or how long it takes to make my food or about your timing. I ordered food. I want my food. If you're not giving my food, give me my money back.
Of course. I'm giving money back. You guys tap your card.
I lost.
You guys tap your card.
I lost my debit card. I'm sorry, I can't find
My
it.
God, the lady just tapped on her phone.
I know,
so she
but
can
I
tap
lost
her
it.
phone
I
again.
can't find it.
No,
I'm sorry.
Cash back, sweetie. We're not.
I'm not giving cash, girl.
We're not moving. We have you all on camera. You're so disrespectful.
I have a camera too. Whatever you guys said, F word for me.
It's gonna be a big lawsuit tomorrow. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm phoning my lawyer. Like you and McDonald's is getting sued big time.
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
100%.
Did I say something wrong to you guys?
Your whole family's
Not,
gonna go back
no,
to
nothing to do with me. I don't even know why you're talking to my passenger.
And
But
do you know
anyways,
where my family lives? Seriously?
Well, shut up. You're having a meltdown. Work. You're here to get paid to get work. Get off the phone and work. Why are you on your phone?
I do work.
What are you doing? You
But
don't
look
work,
at you
sweetie.
guys. You guys don't listen to me at all. If you need a money back, I said you guys money, you tap your card to get your money back.
don't worry. I got
Right?
50,000 followers on Instagram.
I
I'm gonna
don't
post
care
this
how many
video.
followers you are.
You're like,
I don't care about it.
you're like,
I
this is
don't
going.
care how
I
many
will get my
followers
cash
you are.
then. I want my cash.
You didn't pay cash. You paid with a debit.
It wasn't-
Here you go.
Manager, you're a loser.
This isn't my debit card. I don't have the debit card.
Oh, how do you pay, sir?
I tapped on the phone.
Yeah, you can tap
I
again.
don't have the phone. I'm sorry.
That's the lady phone, right? You can tap it
She doesn't
again.
want to tap her phone. She wants the money.
Wow, seriously, you guys.
You can't rip me off for my money. Like that's theft.
I
can
didn't
phone
say
the police.
that. I said
I can phone the police and have you charged
You
with
can
theft.
call. You can call, sir.
I will. I
You can
will.
call right away.
I will
I'll call
phone
right
the
now.
Coming from a galaxy near you, this is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
That was some real Canadian accent going on there, wasn't it?
I have 900 viewers on my Instagram, Doug.
Yeah, wow. 50,000, eh? People are idiots. Like, I don't have my phone. I just pay with my phone, but I'm I don't know. People are dopes.
At least he didn't ask for a pup cup. So, at least he didn't ask for a pup cup. But anyway, I'm having the Ears Up by Fernson Brewing Company out of South Dakota, Doug.
South Dakota. That's like South Canada, too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy there, buddy. Oh, man. So how is it?
Let's see. It's a lager. It's good.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. I'm lagging here, so y'all gonna have to deal with that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sorry, man. So I'm doing stout night again, but I'm starting with a lighter stout. So I admit I got this purely for the label. Backyard Prince live in concert. I don't know. It looked goofy. And then I was a little thrown by this because the folks who make it almost look like Venture, their logo. but it isn't. It is made by 12%
Nice.
Brewing. Oh, for two villains brewing, two villains. That's why it's VV. Okay. It was it must have been a contract brew. So let's pop this puppy open and see how it is. It is a milk stout with cinnamon and vanilla. So
Pop that puppy, you just said.
pop that puppy.
All right, let's see if I can find what I need to find here. I'm so behind. No. Oh, yeah. Here.
Boy, that's cinnamony. Woohoo!
Cinnamony.
Yeah, very cinnamony. Vanilla a little bit, but man, the cinnamon is that's the taste I get out. Like even not even like tasting the lactose hardly in it. It's all like cinnamon forward.
Mm-hmm.
But good. Just be prepared. Cinnamon.
It's gonna cinnamon you out.
Yeah, but that's all right. You know.
All right. I need to. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Let's get our fun guests in here. Oh.
Yeah, I think they're so
No
two villains must have brewed at 12%. That's what I'm guessing. So like contract brew kind of deal. All right,
Doug. Without further ado, we'll do this.
All right, man.
Wow. Okay. What the fuck news, Doug? And what the fuck news this week? We have. Where's my background music, though? I need my typing.
I heard
this is important,
okay.
Doug. And it's going to take a while because I'm lagging.
I
can't. All right. Without further ado, Doug, what the fuck? Come on.
I would like to know who came up with the idea of let's make it so you ban cold beer. What is that?
Hold on. Can I say the headline before you jump over me? Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry about my delay. New bill ban the sale of refrigerated cold beer in Tennessee. And I believe when you click through the article, it says that they believe that this will curb people from drinking and driving. Doug, your comments.
Other than that's the dumbest shit you think people, if they're really going to drink and drive, they're going to care whether it's cold or not. Those folks aren't giving a shit. They're road sodas. It doesn't matter if it's freaking warm or cold, whatever. They'll drink it. This is just dumb. It's needless bills. Like this is the kind of shit you see in Congress and all sorts of facets. And this is the kind of shit that just irritates me because it had no need to be brought up. So dumb on my part. How about you? Give me your opinion because I'm gonna guess it's not far from mine, but
oh well, aren't these Republicans supposed to be pro-business? And pro beer and I don't know.
Yeah, only under their things, you know. Maybe.
Yeah. All right, Doug. How bad is my delay? You can hear me when I talk?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your lips match what you're talking to, which that kind of shit bothers me. So it's like you're fine. Maybe it's taking a while for you to hear me. So, cool. But yeah,
let's go. Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on. Last week was the internet. I think it's my computer now. I don't know, Doug. I just want one normal weekend in 2024, and we are halfway through the second month, Doug, and I still have not achieved that once. I want one normal weekend. Is that too much for this privileged black man to ask for? And during Black History Month. It's fucking Black History Month.
Yeah.
Throw me a fucking bone. Something. Come on. Anyway, I'm looking so light here. Everything is off. All right. So
All right.
what's not off is our guest, Doug.
Yeah.
They are a fun bunch, as I would like to call them. They are always moving around, doing things. They have an opinion on almost everything that is like geekhood, comics, movies, video games, beer, music, sci-fi. I mean, they're all over the place, Doug. They're I would consider them probably one of your perfect guests because y'all geek out on a whole lot of things. And it's a good time. So without further ado, yes, I wanted to say, actually, let's get that before. Happy birthday, Manny. Yes,
Yeah,
happy
Manny.
birthday, Manny, former guest, friend and family of the show. We love ourselves some Manny. He's given us two of the most funniest appearances ever on the stream.
I would agree with that.
And yeah, so Manny, cheers to you. Before we get back to my 5-minute intro to our guests, and they're like sitting there, and I'm saying nice things about them, and they're just waiting, and they're patient, and they're more patient than I would be at this point, Doug, because what the hell am I doing here? Anyway, happy birthday, Manny. One last one. Manny, I don't have any cereal, so I hate to disappoint you, man. No cereal. Doug, any cereal in the house?
Oh, we just went and bought cereal today, so we got a bunch.
No.
Yeah. Not on the
What
show.
kind of
I'm not
cereal
bringing
what kind of sugary cereal can you eat a little bowl of? Just a little bowl of, because I know that's what we can all eat.
Yeah, basically cinnamon
Or
toast
maybe you can
crunch
eat a
with
bigger bowl than me.
sugary one.
I can only have like a little bowl. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon toast crunch, yeah.
Man, that's a classic.
Yep.
All right. So without further ado, y'all, here is Matt and Lauren from Hops Geek News. Lauren first, because ladies first, of course.
Right.
And Matt second. What's going on, y'all? It's
Welcome, guys.
y'all busy people. We actually nailed you. Actually, y'all weren't that hard to schedule, actually. And I was kind of surprised because y'all like to be everywhere all the time, doing all kinds of fun things.
Come on now. You're exposing our secrets.
So what's in the glass there, Lauren?
How y'all
What are you
been?
drinking?
How y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah, what's in the glass first? Yeah.
I'm drinking, if anybody has not heard of Calusa Brewing in Sarasota, Florida, definitely, if you ever hear that name, get whatever it is. This brewery nails every single style they do, but they don't really distribute ever. So if you hear it, if you see it, if you're in Sarasota, you definitely want to get it. This is one of their flagships. It's their Zote. It's their IPA. Phenomenal brewery. I mean, their sours are killer. Their stouts are killer. Their hazies are freaking phenomenal. Calusa Brewing. If you haven't heard it, learn it, know it, get it. They're not a brewery, I feel like, but they're ones that should be. I think a lot of people don't know who they are because they don't distribute.
Okay. Boy, I was going to say, you're talking Greg's language there with the hazies and the IPA and all that stuff. That definitely is. So how about you, Matt? What do you got going on drinking?
Oh, man. I'm old. I'm an old soul. So, if I'm drinking a beer right now, I have to have it.
He's probably the youngest one on this podcast.
I am, but I also have to I have to throw in some coffee into my beer. So the one good thing we get to do about our show, man, is we've made a lot of friends who work at breweries, to be exact. And Stacy, whose fiance or husband actually works at Two Roads Brewery, has hooked us up with some Espressway cold brew. It's a coffee stout from Two Roads Brewing out of Connecticut. Take the road less traveled. It is an amazing 6.5% coffee stout. And man, I there's one thing, like if you're drinking a beer or you're making a beer and you're like, hey man, what's the one ingredient you want in this beer? It's going to be coffee. I just love coffee in a beer. For some reason, whenever you throw coffee in a beer, it just rises to the top for me. And
good on everything.
It is, man. Like if I could drink one thing the rest of my life, it would honestly be coffee. So anytime you throw coffee in a beer, coffee in any food, whatever it is, I'm in.
Eggs.
Eggs. Coffee. Eggs. Well, I've done the hot barons.
Hot
so
barons.
yeah.
Have you heard of hot barons?
No.
So they do
Oh,
like
guys.
barbecue rubs, and they have actual beer hops in them, and they have a coffee rub that's fantastic on eggs,
Yes.
especially if you're hungover.
We have a promo code too. If anybody wants to
Phenomenal.
try, we do have a promo code. You can use promo
It's a
code Hops
small business
News.
too. Oh my god, they do
But no,
beer
like they
brine.
use hops in their
Brine my
their
turkey and beer.
rubs. Yeah, and one of like Lauren was saying, man, one of my favorite rub is the apple and the coffee, and it goes so like you
I
smoke
like
a
the
butt
badass one.
with coffee on it, or there's their badass rub, which is just like a little spiciness to it. Man, my kids
good.
even
Pour
who
it on
don't even
mac
like
and cheese.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
I put that shit on everything.
Hmm.
It's fucking phenomenal, and we don't
Are
get
you-
paid. For it.
Wait. Can one of y'all
Yeah,
share
you-
your screen?
I don't know. Do I know how to do that, Matt?
I don't.
Yeah. Can one
Lauren
of y'all
doesn't know
share your
anything.
screen?
What do we need to do? All right, share my screen.
This
Let's
is
see.
your.
What-
But this is your
Will it let
native.
me?
Y'all told me y'all.
No,
Yeah,
it won't
can
let
you-
me share my screen.
Yeah. Share your
Oh,
screen and
present?
then what's the promo?
Present.
All right,
Present.
Yeah,
here
let
we
me
go.
put the
Let's
promo
let's
up
watch
Oh,
this.
and go to the website.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold on, I got you.
okay.
Yeah. No worries. Yep.
Hopberries.com.
That because
Got you guys.
y'all blew me away. Doug and I were like, "What are you talking
right.
about? We need to know
So,
more."
Present.
Share.
And if you use, yeah.
Here we
there
are.
you go.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I actually just ordered some more apple rub, and they sent me the pork seasoning and the seafood seasoning on the house because they're somebody we have a good relationship. But this honey apple rub, if you can see it, it's my wife cooks with it every night, and my wife and kids do not like seasoning on things, and they cook with it, right? So they have all sorts of things. So this brine was a fun collab that we actually did with Bottle Share, and proceeds went to Bottle Share, which Bottle Share helps actually people in breweries who work in the industry that are in need and are really down bad. The fish fry and beer batter, I have some of that. Their sample pack.
But
So
Brian, though, I'm going to cut you off for a second. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
please
a
do.
great cook at all. I'm terrible. But the brine, like, you boil beer and then you add the brine to it, and like the turkey is, because often turkey's dry, like the meat falls off the bone. It is so juicy. It's so good. The one thing I will say that my mom she goes, I can't make gravy with this. It's too hoppy. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
so freaking
Well, this
delicious.
is weird. This is all they have right now out, which is weird because normally they have like their coffee rubs and stuff
Yeah,
like
check
that.
them regularly. They mix things up. They add new
Right.
things. They just added a really spicy one, something about Shatner your pants or something.
Yep.
But like sometimes they have spicy nuts, which are great, like beer nuts. Like I will eat them sometimes while we're podcasting and drinking. Like, and again, we don't get paid for this.
I love
We just
spicy nuts.
And
truly
Yeah.
love the product, and it's a small business.
real quick, promo code Hops News, HOPSNEWS. That at least gets you free shipping. It gets
Yeah,
you
20%.
20% off. So if anybody
wow.
out there wants to do it, that's 20% off. And trust me, I have
I
not
buy the big
used.
bags now too.
Yeah, I
Like,
do too. I have not used a single other rub, and I actually have a couple rubs that I have that I've been wanting to do a giveaway with. So maybe
this is
we'll
an
work on that.
infomercial now.
It is essentially yes.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't eat real meat. I'm a fake
Right.
vegetarian, so I eat chicken and fish. But like I put this on like the vegan meat, like burgers, and we do meatball subs with the vegan meatballs, and it's phenomenal on there. Just I do the meatballs and I put it all over both sides, and then we add it after, and then still add like the Parmesan cheese and everything. It's so good. Again, even on mac and cheese, on eggs. Oh, and when I make micheladas, I rim it with the Hot Baron's
Listen,
badass rub.
And also one thing, like this is true because white women don't love seasoning in food. So
Bitch, I grew up in South Florida.
You are
Those
just
are-
blowing Greg's mind
That's
with
the
all this
meanest
talk
thing
about the
Matt's
rubs
ever
and
said to
everything.
me.
Yeah, but Greg's like over there just like floored with all these rubs. So
We don't do
Oh,
white
man.
people taco night here.
Mm-hmm. She's
white
right.
people taco night.
Yeah.
yeah, trust it's awesome, man. So yeah,
Yeah.
do yourselves a favor, man. Barbecue season's coming.
All
Treat
right.
yourself. We live by treat yourself over here, and you should treat yourself.
That's how you end up
Greg?
in bankruptcy.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Well,
Yes.
we're gonna treat ourselves. Yeah, we're gonna treat ourselves to y'all telling us how y'all came to be. We like to talk about your origin stories to tell our audience who y'all are before we get to the silliness that'll ensue after that. Believe me.
Ooh, well,
So yeah, where'd you
back
guys start? How'd you meet? What's the yeah?
like
How do
every great
two
relationship in this world in the modern
geeks
day, we
from
met
like
on the internet.
yeah and yeah, when I met y'all, one of y'all was in Utah, and one of y'all was in Florida, and I'm like, how the are they married? No, y'all both got families.
We've
and
gotten that a
kids.
couple times, and I'm
What?
like, yeah,
Honestly,
we
I'm
are
like,
married,
this
not
is
to each
great.
other.
What is this?
it's literally it's a fun thing to do, like,
Yeah,
because everyone just
right,
assumes like
right.
they're always like, hey, are you in the same like house? You're just in a different room. It's like, no. I was at the time in Idaho. Lauren's always been in
Right.
Florida, and now I'm in Virginia.
The best was a couple times people thought we were married, and we're like, we've literally never even met in person.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, for example, I just went to Orlando and I was like, Lauren, oh, we got to get some like good podcast shots. And I was like, oh, we're at Disney. Let's go in front of the Millennium Falcon. And the lady's like, closer, closer.
we're
And
like,
Lauren are
no.
like, no, it's not like we're just,
It's more like brother
it's,
and sister.
it's because we couldn't bring
Friends.
her. We didn't bring
Yeah,
our
I mean,
lightsaber. That's why.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But no,
Y'all
we,
absolutely
wrong.
give off those vibes when we see you. You definitely give off those like brother and sister, like back and forth vibes. So it's great. But go on. I'm sorry.
oh, no,
No,
you're
you're
good,
good.
man. Like, yeah, Lauren and I, like, it very often, like, not too often do you meet somebody later in life and they just become your like best friend. And like, that's our relationship right there is, man, brother and sister. It's always felt like family since we started doing this show, which we started in doing Instagram photos for beer pictures and the Hops News. And then COVID.
2019.
Yeah, that was 2019. I was in New Hampshire, and then it turned into COVID's here. You guys want to start a podcast and raise money for breweries?
Why
And
not? We're not doing anything else.
yeah, and from there, Lauren and I would always go on about geek stuff, and we decided to just do a nerd style podcast, and here we are for just about 4 years later.
Yeah, I think Greg and I are about the same time frame.
Yeah, y'all are
honestly,
bigger and badder than ever.
what
Yeah.
Greg said.
Yeah, y'all are bigger and badder than ever. I mean, y'all doing great. Y'all fun, covering all kinds of different things. Doug, do you have a follow up? And I'm gonna go grab my second beer.
Yeah. So with the so when did you decide that you were going to blend the geekdom and the beardom? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like that can go together. That's not something like we talk about geeky stuff in here sometimes and do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But it's something where how do you decide? You know, we're just going to put them both together. Let's just run with that. When did you decide that's what you're going to do, or was that thing from the beginning?
It wasn't necessarily our idea. So we were on the beer podcast. It was us and two other people. And the guy that hosted, Jeremy or J Brew, if anybody's familiar with Hops News, hosted it. And Matt and I would just go off on tangents and start arguing about the ending of Game of Thrones, or we'd start talking about Wolverine. And Jay was like, at that time, again, we were all stuck in our houses. He's like, hey, let's blow this up. Why don't you guys have a spinoff? And that's why it's called Hops Geek News, because we were doing Hops News. So we add the geek to Hops News. He goes, why don't you guys start doing your own thing on the side, and you guys can talk whatever you want. And we were like, hell yeah, that's great. But it's funny when you go back to our origin episode, which was, again, almost 4 years ago now. It's, Matt and I had never talked one-on-one, just the two of us. It was always a group. So we're a little hesitant, and you can actually see, because I had to like re-upload episodes.
Our early episodes are so bad.
Oh yeah,
but
they
you
are.
can see like the
For us, too.
progression of us getting, familiar with each other and comfortable with each other. But yeah, not every episode. Sometimes we record early and drink coffee, but every episode we start with a beer of the week. And then it's just kind of progressed to where now we do a beer of the week. Then we start with what we fucked up on the week before. We let guests call us out on stuff. Sometimes we call each other out on stuff, correct what whatever somebody was yelling at their, car stereo or whatever the week before. Like, that's not that actress's name. We fix ourselves. Then we talk about what we've been reading or watching, especially the comic book reviews we've been doing for Nerd Initiative. We talk about recent geek news. And then we get into a main topic, which can be a comic book origin. It could be an interview. It could be talking about Jaws because it's Shark Week and how sharks are underrated and misunderstood. It can be whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah. It was funny, yeah, getting to just do that because we would always, and the other two hosts we were with, Jeremy was the one who founded Hops News. He was like, guys, can you just we're talking about beer, we have a guest, we're raising money, and here you are yelling about some stupid stuff that he doesn't care about, right?
He's like, Game of Thrones ended terribly, and I'm like, it wasn't that terrible. Yes, it was.
And then we start talking Wolverine or whatever it was, and so we decided, yeah, we're doing this. And of course, every podcast you ever listen to, the first X amount of episodes are just
rough
not quality. Yeah, they're rough, man. And I honestly, I would say in the last year and a half is when we even started really hitting our stride. So it took a little bit. And Lauren, shout out to Lauren because she's the absolute goat when it comes to. She does all the scheduling. She does all the pre-planning. I just show up sometimes, and Lauren's like, "Don't worry, I got it. We got the doc." And she's the absolute just.
But
fucking
then he
best,
does all
dude.
the editing after, which I can't do. So we both have, our weaknesses and our strengths balance each other out.
Yes.
Poor Greg.
And yeah, it's awesome.
We can relate.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be sitting there man,
relate.
just I don't know how much times we breathe or just editing. And I'm like, but Lauren's sitting there all day studying and doing all the hard stuff. So it's I can listen to us breathe for an hour.
Encyclopedia. I'm doing all the hard stuff. No,
that's what makes it fun.
I mean, you guys know you have a
That's
podcast.
excellent. That's excellent.
It's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. And there are times where I was like, I feel like this is more work.
It can be a lot of work.
It truthfully feels like a second job at times, without a doubt. And shout out to our significant others too, because like you said, it kind of feels like a second job. So there's so many times where it's here we are, late nights. Yeah, late nights, right? And hey, we got to record this night. And there might be times where we're recording 3-4 times a week. And our spouses are like, you're recording again. And it's I'm sorry. Yes, we are. I'm sorry. There's just weeks like that. And they're so supportive though, man.
Pat and Oswald on last night, and my son walks in for me to open a bag of chips. And I'm like, go find daddy.
Yes.
I'm talking to Remy, kid. Go find daddy.
What I'm doing.
Have you ever heard Pat Oswald's skit where he talks about being high and drunk on Halloween and the kids coming to his house dressed as Ratatouille, dressed as Remy?
No, that sounds
but I'm going to Google that the second we get off.
It's so funny because he's like, you're walking around in my skin now. And these kids are walking away horrified, but he was smoking weed and drinking whiskey all day on Halloween because that's that's
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Chris in the chat. Yeah, dude,
that's amazing.
This week was a really good week to be a Marvel.
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Oh, we go. Yeah, hold on. I was gonna hold back. Hold back. I got something to address with Matt first.
Go.
Oh, what we got?
Hold back. Hold. Ooh. I got something to address with Matt that I have to get to, and then we can get to the good stuff. But this is the good stuff too, actually, Doug, real quick. The Contorter Porter from Ale Asylum.
Ooh.
Ale Asylum, I don't know if you know, was a
Ale
big brewery
good,
here in Wisconsin. They went out of business, and then Carbon 4 went and bought them, but then Carbon 4 got themselves into a lawsuit that my other brand, Badger Beer Hour, is involved in because the owner came on our podcast and said some things apparently that the other owner didn't like. So now there's a lawsuit. So this is all really interesting. But this is Contorted Porter. It's one of my favorites, and it's really, really good. Awesome. Killing the style. As far as porters go, y'all know they're few and far between these days. And so this is a good one. I'm happy to report. I was really upset when Ale Asylum went under. I was going to have this now.
I didn't even realize they went under.
But Matt, I gotta. Yeah, they went under, and then Carbon 4 swooped in kind of 6 months later. The building's still there, not sold. I heard that they're doing decently with the sales. So actually, what happened is real
Green
quick.
Bay Packers
Carbon 4
That's crazy.
used to.
Yeah, he said he was
Carbon 4 used to be an old place that Ale Asylum was in. So then Carbon 4 buying Ale Asylum was this some kind of weird thing here in the energy here. But it was good times. But Matt, before we get to all kinds of geek stuff, you have to address this, my man.
Is What's
you
there to
see-
address?
see
Look at
it
the
coming up here? Okay.
beauty.
Oh.
Look at that.
It's a bit.
Matt's ensemble does not in any way, shape, or form represent the collective opinion of
Yes, it does.
Hops Geek News.
Oh, yes, it does.
Okay, let's clarify this because I have a lot to say about Duncan. So apparently you're a
realize-
giant fan.
Hold on.
The Crocs
Like,
are Duncan
okay,
too.
so-
Everybody's popping off in the chat.
Okay,
I just
so-
need to let everybody in the chat know that I did buy the jacket. The Dunking jacket that was aired at the Super Bowl. I bought it in the first 10 minutes. The first 2 minutes it went on sale, and it's coming
It's a
soon.
Dunking.
So you just wait.
Somebody called
You
a
just wait.
Dunking.
I am a Dunking, and that jacket is on its way to my house.
Oh my god,
Matt.
uh,
Matt is Dunkin' greater than Starbucks?
All right.
No.
All right. So, first of all, I just have to preface this with I'm from Massachusetts. I love Dunkin' Donuts. It's not good. It's not quality. They spit in your coffee. That's what wakes you up, right?
And they put hair in your
Oh.
bagel.
They put so I also like I wore that outfit funny enough to my college graduation at Boise State, and they put me on their Instagram, and then they stiffed me in the commercial. So this is the only reason why I'm about to say what I'm about to say. No, they are not. However, there is something nostalgic. There's something like you know what you're gonna get, and if you ever want to cure a hangover, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, you get a iced coffee with a plain bagel and cream cheese, and it's gonna cure you. And I was talking like to Lauren when I was at MegaCon at Lauren's. I was like, Lauren, it's Sunday. We're really hungover. I need something. And I
You're
was like,
hungover. I drank my Pedialyte.
I
ready
was
to
very
rock.
hungover, and I was like, Lauren, I need to go to Dunkin'. I need that. I need that iced coffee. And I was like, everybody in the car was like, "What's wrong with you? Like, Dunkin's
Matt's like,
not
does
good."
anybody else want Dunkin' Donuts? And there was 4 of us in the car. Everybody else was like, yeah, no, we're good. Just get your Dunkin'. Let's go.
It wasn't. And then I was halfway through my bagel, and there was a big old hair in it. And I was like, guys, see, I did this to myself. And so no,
My cousin's in the back seat and can see the hair clear as day.
Dunkin' Donuts is not. I am from Billerica, Mass. So you know me. Like you're driving to Logan Airport, there's a Dunks in Revere on one side of the street. There's a Dunks on the opposite side of the street. It's just who we are, man. When you're born in Massachusetts, the priest actually baptizes you with Dunkin' Donuts made with the water from the Charles River.
oh. All right, all right. Hold on. Do people from Massachusetts just want to fucking hate themselves? Is that what this is all about?
People from
Like,
Massachusetts
Jesus,
hate
like-
everybody, and they hate themselves, and we hate
Like,
our sports
hey,
team.
let's have
Yes.
terrible coffee. Let's have terrible donuts, and let's just revel in it and give the middle finger to anybody who thinks that that's not true.
Yes, 100%. Like people from Massachusetts are angry for a reason. It's because Dunkin' Donuts sucks. You go through the drive-through and they have everything. Like, okay, the other day I went to Dunkin' Donuts and I was like, guys, don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna pay. We're getting 3 iced coffees. It's on me. And then somehow it came out to like $20. I was like, there's no way. I look at the receipt. They charged me for 5 extra donuts. And I was like, we didn't order donuts. What happened here?
Don't worry, guys. He went back and showed them. What
But
was
don't
up.
worry. I went back in and was like, listen here, I bought 3 coffees. You charged me for donuts, and I got my donuts. And we ate those donuts out of spite. You're damn right we did.
So Duncan forced him to buy donuts, is what happened.
Yes. It was Starbucks makes the better holiday
Wow.
coffees, but you know what? If I'm just looking to really get riled up in the morning, the secret is Dunkin' Donuts. Their liveliness doesn't come from coffee. It comes from the fact that you're so mad that your order's so fucked up.
I don't understand the wanting to be angry all the time. I really don't understand.
It
that.
was 4 donuts yesterday, by the way,
you
but you
had
know
a
what? I'm
good
changing it every
childhood.
day. It was actually 4 donuts. I'm sorry, got it wrong. My
Yeah,
bad.
that's okay.
That was Patrick, wasn't it? 4 donuts.
Oh man.
I'm a living
Yeah,
legend at this point for dunks, and it's about
Doug,
time
you got
they're
a
gonna.
second, and then
Sorry,
we
it'll be
just-
6
I
donuts,
just want
Patrick.
Dunkin' Donuts to remember me. They need to recognize there's going to be a statue of me outside of Dunkin' Donuts one
What are
day.
you,
all right?
Coco Miguel? Remember me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just look at
I-
that, man. Like, look at that. It was glorious, all right? And now I have the dunking jacket on the way. So am I literally Ben Affleck? I can't really say, but yes.
And my husband and I, when we saw that Super Bowl ad, my husband goes, Matt's gonna own that jacket.
And lo and behold.
I mean, at least he owns it and he knows what it is. So
I've been waiting all week to ask that.
There's no shame. No shame. I will flaunt it all day, but I will also recognize that, guys, it's not good. It's not. It's just not.
It's just big, I swear.
It is a
That's
fishing story.
Patrick. It's big. Have you ever seen the movie Big Fish?
I have.
That's it. Yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Man, I haven't seen that in probably 20-something years, but yeah.
Which is a big fish.
Phenomenal movie with Ewan McGregor. So good.
Yeah. So yeah, second beer. I'm gonna go as I normally do with adjunct stuff. So this is called Drinkable from Imprint Dunkable. Excuse me. So obviously
Oreos.
How about that? Dunkable. I didn't even plan that. This is a milk stout. There's a milk stout with cookies and cream, and it says nitro infused. What the fuck does it? If it's a nitro, what does nitro infused mean? Just like, is it a nitro or not? So it says pour hard. That's what she said too. But anyway, I'm gonna put
right down the middle.
Yep. Well, I generally am a pretty aggressive pourer, so
I respect it. I love it.
Whoa.
Nitro infused, dog.
There's that nitro infusion. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Holy moly.
It's always so fun to like watch a nitro settle, though.
It is. It's really fun watching the nitro settle.
It is.
How are y'all already on your second beer?
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'm about to be as well, honestly, in a minute.
I mean, for the night, this is my fourth beer.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've had none.
Honestly, I don't finish mine.
Yeah, usually he doesn't,
Yeah,
but I do. But this is like
sometimes.
This is very much a dessert beer. Like it's super sweet. Very much you can taste the cream. And the cookies, a little bit of chocolate is resident, but it's definitely more cream forward. So if you like cream in the Oreos, then you probably like this. And this is 11%. The first one was 6.5.
You don't, Doug?
Oh, 11%. Okay. We've come to party.
You don't like the cream in your Oreos, Doug?
I do. I'm just saying if you're like, you know how Oreos are like around. Yeah, but everybody is like, eat Oreos a certain way. Yeah, hey, Manny, that's actually not a bad idea. I do have some cinnamon toast crunch actually, so I might do that later.
Are we doing insulin? Are you going to do an insulin shot after?
Thankfully, I'm nowhere near diabetic, so I wouldn't. But tomorrow, I might not. I might have to drink like 8 gallons of water to like wash it out. But
hey, I highly recommend the Pedialyte before bed. I mean, that's more sugar, but it definitely helps prevent the hangover.
My rule is 1 beer to 1 water, man.
Bananas help too.
Bananas
do help. Yes, they do.
Why have I never heard this?
The potassium helps get rid of like a lot of salt.
Yeah, I did not.
Potassium helps the salt. Especially if you have like a heavy sodium day, you're eating like 7 or 8 donuts. Like
because Dunkin' Donuts made you.
No, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts and I'm getting a bagel and hair.
Okay, so my question is, do you get donuts at Dunkin' Donuts ever, or are you a bagel person when you go there?
Oh, rarely do I get donuts. I'm not really like big into sweets in general. Sometimes I will, but it's man, if I'm going to Dunks and I'm getting food, it's a bagel and cream cheese without a doubt. Hold the hair though. Hold the hair.
Well, apparently you were holding the hair, so when you pulled it out.
Hey, I will say though, it was long and not curly, so that was a benefit.
Again, that's what she said.
Right side.
That's very true. Very true.
Sorry.
And now we'll have Doug's favorite transition.
All right. Do you want me to go first?
Oh. Well, hold on, Doug. Let's address this first. Anyone else worried Greg keeps wandering away? We're just going to ignore it. Greg is antsy and not sitting down. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's at a standing desk. So, yeah.
You're standing right now?
I can walk around.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so
Yeah,
got a
I'm standing
casino.
right now, and Matt's not standing.
No, but I'm about to crack up another coffee
What's
blonde.
going on, Matt? Where's this from?
This is from
Ooh.
A coffee
Kaisdale.
blonde.
Ooh, you know what I like is it's got the Marilyn Monroe, and it's from actually brewed and canned by Cassiel Beer and Spirits in Hampton, Virginia, and it's a 5.3%, light drinker.
Okay.
So Cassiel, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Beer and
I don't think
Spirits
you're right. I think you've
Company.
been watching too much
I
Supernatural.
have been, yes. Are produced and featured at the Vanguard Pub and Distillery, which is a great brewery as well. It's right outside the my workplace, located within a nationally registered historic armory in Hampton, Virginia. If you don't know, Hampton, Virginia is essentially a big Civil War area where like the first naval battle of the Civil War went down. Founded in 2017. It's Cashel. They actually tell you to pronounce on the can if I just read a little bit further. It's Gaelic for ring fortress, which is represented in our brand imagery. Also, it harks back to the historic Hampton Armory in which we are housed. So I'm about to crack this bad boy open as I finish this beer. And I'll let you know how it tastes.
All right. And I'm going to let the dogs loose with this. Because I know that this is going to let the dogs loose. If y'all don't know, if this is your first exposure to Hop Geek News, I don't know if we're ever going to get Matt to shut the fuck up about Deadpool 3. So we're going to let
Not
Matt
Deadpool 3.
go first, Lauren.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine.
I think you should let Lauren go first. She feels very passionate about this. Yes. Also, yes, make Jensen Batman. Just want to shout that out real quick.
Who said that? Yes, 100%.
Chris in the chat.
Batman.
Yes. Lauren and I have been on a Supernatural kick, by the way.
Yes,
we just reviewed a
Jensen
special
Batman.
effects guy who worked on Supernatural.
Make Jensen live action Batman because he is animated Batman. So we need him live action. He was in the Long Halloween.
Okay.
Oh, am I talking about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Somebody is.
I'm very excited about this. I have been wanting this movie since 2008. I am so excited. Patch has to be happening. You guys are gonna have to give me questions, or I will just go off on a tangent. Like I was literally at another brewery an hour and a half ago talking about this trailer with people. So give me direction. What do you want to know? The good, the bad, the ugly?
Everything, Lauren. Tell us. Tell us your deepest, darkest Deadpool and
All right,
Wolverine.
all right. Here's the thing. It's give us everything in 1 minute. I'm just kidding. Go.
What does that mean? Do you want comic origin? Do you want the trailer summed up? Do you want the movie summed up?
Give us. I would say let's start with the trailer part.
I think Taylor Swift is going to be Dazzler.
Oh,
which would be really cool. I'm down for Dazzler getting introduced in a live action thing too.
I have no idea who that is, so I'm not as into the Marvel stuff as you folks.
So this movie, obviously we thought we were saying goodbye to Hugh Jackman in 2017 when Logan happened, and I was okay with that, but I wasn't okay with that. But I had always said, like, Wolverine got me into comics. So my comic book origin is Hugh Jackman, basically. I wanted to know more of the comparisons to the movies. I wanted to know background. So I literally went back and read issue 180 and 181 of The Incredible Hulk when Wolverine was introduced. And so seeing that and then reading and learning more about him, I wanted so much for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to be introduced into the MCU, and how I feel like they're going to do it through the TVA, I think is going to be beautiful. I genuinely enjoyed Wolverine Origins, and I know I'm going to get shit for that because I didn't know Deadpool then. I had not read Deadpool then. I know Deadpool now, and I realize how wrong that was. But this movie is just going to fix literally everything that has ever gone wrong in any Marvel movie in the last 24 years, and I'm just so excited for it. And I am
24
so excited.
years, the last 24 years, what has gone wrong, Lauren? Here's a question for you.
Well, Phoenix, that was terrible. That was X3. They did not handle that well. Don't make me do this. There's too many things.
Let's hear it, Lauren. What's gone wrong, Lauren?
Worst X-Men movie. How about that?
X3.
X3.
Oh, yeah. It's indefensible.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. I'm not a huge into the comic book stuff, but I will say that the Wolverine Origin was fucking great. I really enjoyed that.
It really was a really good movie, and I'm glad to hear that. And yes, somebody just said Gambit in live action. We need more Gambit, and that actually pissed me off though. How Wolverine treated Gambit, I will say I did not like that because he was like just shoot him off.
Yeah.
But we 100% like Gambit should be a respected character. Like he's awesome. So I think the few things that they did wrong in Wolverine Origins, I think that they will fix, much like the end of Deadpool 2 fixed so many things for the DC universe and for the Marvel universe.
Mm.
Like Green Lantern never happened
Mhm,
now.
mhm.
Good.
All right, Matt. And all right, Matt. Here's your time. Here's your time to talk about Deadpool, and then we'll get to Doug about what we're watching, and we'll get everybody else watching. Matt, I couldn't let Matt go without talking about Deadpool at this point. So, Matt,
Yeah.
really yours.
Dude, so I know I've been saying in this, and I am so excited for this movie. I'm excited that Lauren and I are probably actually going to get to watch this movie and together. That's one of the more exciting things. Don't worry, Lauren, I'll treat us with our Regal bucks.
Do
But
those work in England?
I
Because
have
that's
no,
where
I
we'll
have
be.
no idea, but dude, I'm pumped. And one of my working theories, and I know Lauren doesn't subscribe to this, and a lot of people might not, but I truly think that since this is a multiversal tale, that they are going to be screen testing a couple of different Wolverines to see how the audience reacts, to maybe bring them into the MCU and be like, hey, okay, maybe they put Taron Egerton as Wolverine as a multiversal, like kind of like they did John Krasinski, right? Everybody loved him as Reed Richards.
No.
Well, all right, everybody but Doug loved him
Really?
as Reed Richards.
Okay, but I'm saying not for you were saying for him for Wolverine.
No.
Oh no,
I was
no,
saying,
no,
okay,
for
I was-
Mr.
I was-
Fantastic.
I'm saying
Okay.
they put him in Doctor Strange as Mr. Fantastic, kind of as a screen test and a fan service. And so my big theory
No,
is
he would
that
not
this
be.
movie
White would be a better Wolverine.
at all, and my big thing is that they're gonna screen test one, maybe two different Wolverines, and if the audience reacts well, whoever the audience loves the most, aside from Hugh, of course, because he's done after this, they're gonna probably bring into the MCU as the Wolverine, and that's my big theory that I'm dying on.
Some
Taron
people think he might
Egerton?
not be
That-
done after this. Some people think that he might stick around for a little bit. Some people's not me.
Well, he's 55.
Yeah, but if you're doing Old Man Logan and he still has that, like he doesn't die till 2029 in the movie Logan.
But that's not enough because by the time they get a
He's got
Wolverine
5
or an
years of
X-Men,
life left in him.
but by the time the Wolverine and X-Men are actually introduced into the MCU, it's 2027. They're not going to have Wolverine for 2
But
years.
you
and
can
kill him.
also, they did a fantastic job de-aging Michael Douglas and other various characters that they could de-age him and he could play variants and not have to eat all the raw chicken and go to the gym. Not raw chicken, unseasoned chicken.
Yeah.
Let's be
You
real.
know, if he had hot
Right.
barons, he
Back to
wouldn't
that.
be hating his raw
Exactly.
chicken diet so much.
I agree, Megan.
Hey, if Tom Cruise could do his own stunts at fucking 57 in Mission Impossible, Hugh Jackman can do this.
Oh, well, see, the thing is, too, like, what's interesting though is like if you look at Hugh
Wow.
Jackman in the year 2000, which got Jesus and Rice, I guess he was 30 at that time, versus now, he's more jacked now than he was then.
True. He's veiny. He's very veiny.
So is Wolverine.
Mm.
That's true. I don't know, man. That's just my only theory. I and I know this is going to bring Deadpool into the MCU.
Okay, if Daniel Radcliffe is Patch, I'm not going to be okay with that because I need Hugh Jackman to be Patch.
No.
I see your $1 and I will bet you $1.
Oh, so we come out even?
No, I don't.
I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top.
But it really the
Chris.
the trailer, it looked too big to be Harry Potter. It looked like it was Hugh Jackman and it had the hair for Hugh Jackman. And
It's not Hugh Jackman. I'm telling you, it's not Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman has to be Patch. He has to be Patch and they have to be in Madripoor. They have to. It's
No,
not a choice.
It is a choice.
No,
you always
it's
have
not.
a choice.
Hey, are you
No, you don't
implying
know.
that maybe movie studios don't make the best choice for people to play roles?
Shout out to Megan through our Facebook feed because she says Daniel Radcliffe for sure. See, she just gets me. All right, I'm starting a
I'm
new
okay with
podcast.
with
Megan and I are
Daniel-
starting a new
okay.
podcast. Thank you.
tonight, if anybody who has listened to our podcast, I was actually talking with Jamal tonight about Daniel Radcliffe, and I don't hate him. He makes sense height-wise. He's more comic book accurate. I saw the picture of him jacked. He's not just Harry Potter. I get that. And I think he would do good in the future. But I need Patch to be Hugh Jackman. I need it. I'm telling you, Daniel Patch.
I have a question as somebody who's completely inexperienced in this. Who the fuck is Patch?
Patch is somebody that Wolverine dresses up as when he's going undercover, primarily in Magic War. So he has a white jacket, he still has the hair, and he has a literal eye patch like Nick Fury.
Okay, so he's a pirate. All right.
Well, he's not plundering or raping.
Well, he could also be sailing the high seas, like what was a goddamn it? It's a Reese Darby's show. Now I'm blanking. I have to look up.
I like this person. I don't have one
Our
of those.
our flag means. I was thinking of our flag means death. I don't know if you guys saw that show, but that was all about pirates.
Oh,
Gay
wasn't that with Taika Waititi?
Yeah, it was all about gay pirates. It was great.
I didn't see that, but I heard it was fantastic. And unfortunately, then a lot of people are upset when it got canceled. It was one of those like, oh, I'm going to watch that. And then I heard it got canceled.
Yeah.
Gunn's vision for the DC. Ooh.
Oh, Gunn's vision for the DCU. What are we talking DC? Oh, don't get me started.
No, we're getting you started. Go.
I'm telling you, James Gunn is about to make DC like the greatest thing on planet Earth, starting with Superman Legacy. Oh my God, there's so much good things. Millie Alcock as
who's the Superman now?
Casting.
Who's the Superman? Oh, they announced him.
Not Henry Cavill, which makes me sad.
Well, Henry Cavill is rumored to be cast in MCU, and the big rumor right now is Henry Cavill is Doom, which
would be amazing.
I would watch Henry Cavill read the Bible.
So
I'd watch Henry Cavill do anything without a shirt on.
I will say, as a straight man,
me too. I would too.
As a straight man, watching him in the Mission Impossible movies where he does the thing where he snaps his wrists is fucking hot. I was just like, holy shit, man! Like, I'm a married straight guy. That was really fucking hot. Don't do that again.
I have absolutely questioned who I am as a person after watching Henry Cavill do anything that he has done. And if he is,
I love what a dork he is too. It makes him even hotter.
Yeah, big Warhammer fan.
And Warhammer 40,000 is something that they're avidly in the works for. But I'm pumped if we can get Henry Cavill. Since they dumped him from if they've dumped him from The Witcher, put him in there. But James Gunn, James Gunn is about to bring DC to the rise of Marvel. We have Superman coming out July 11th, 2025. It's gonna fucking just change our lives, and then from there, we're eventually gonna get the Flash done right. We're gonna get the Green Lantern done right, and we're gonna be eating as DC fans because
definitely some Green Lantern redemption.
Me at my core, I'm DC. DC is my favorite property till I die.
What about the Batman 2?
Oh,
what about the Batman 2? They're gonna do that right?
Better be better than the first.
Excuse you, first of all.
What's
going on?
It was a good movie, but it was too slow. They needed to cut some things out.
It was good.
The one guy, he's a great Batman. He's a terrible Bruce Wayne. He's too moody.
They're going for Batman year one when he's very caught up in himself, but his whole thing was that Alfred was trying to show that he needs to be Bruce Wayne. And so he's going to be Bruce Wayne in the second movie. And Robert Pattinson played him so excellently. And Batman 2, which is supposed to come out in 2025 as well, mind you. Come on, Lauren. Why do you hate fun?
I'm flabbergasted. Okay, that movie was good. It had some great points, but the best part was like when Penguin was like yelling at the guys, and he's like, "Hey!" It was just very slow. Like normally in a superhero movie, I never have any desire to be like, "Hey, what time is it? Let me check my phone." That movie I did more than once. It was very slow. It had some fantastic parts.
That's the best part about the Batman is because they focused on Detective Batman.
And I did very much so appreciate that. I liked the Detective Batman.
Did you? Because it doesn't sound like you did.
That were just too slow. They needed to move it along a little better.
I would agree that the Pattinson was not great as Bruce Wayne. I think him as Batman was great because it was like, I thought Christian Bale was brooding. Holy shit, that was Pattinson was way more brooding. That was like really, really impressive to see him go more brooding than.
He's like angsty teenager though.
Yeah, and like he was like, I don't give a shit if I burn through all my money, and that's different.
Yeah.
That's a different take on Batman, I think.
But it's an unintelligent take on Batman because you should care because this is what finances
your crusade.
crime fighting. Yes. Michael Keaton will and is always the best.
Christian Bale is the best Batman.
No, it's Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton. Y'all kids are too young.
Lauren, you
I'm older than all of you in this fucking room, and Christian Bale's the best Batman.
What?
This is.
I am 52 years old, and I will tell you, Christian Bale. Now Michael Keaton it's like 1A and 1B. It's like very close. I'm not.
But Adam West.
Adam West was the original. That's the OG. Ask Greg about how his kids like seeing the Adam West Batman movie.
Like,
yeah, it didn't go well. I like the nipples one. What was that? Val Kilmer.
Oh my god.
Oh,
one.
no.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin and like
The
Batman
nipple
Forever
Batman?
are good movies. I will die on those hills.
They're not bad movies.
They're fun, dude.
There
They're
can't
fun.
be. Yeah. They're different.
Yes, they're fun. Okay.
Batman and Robin was
Chris O'Donnell
It
at
was
45 years
atrocious,
old,
man.
pretending to be an orphan teenager.
Holy rusted
Come on.
metal, Batman. What? The metal. It's holy
Right.
and rusted.
even George Clooney. Yeah, even George
Holy
Clooney
shit,
said that movie sucked. Come
Silverstone.
on, man.
Look, but we got George Clooney in the Flash at least.
Spoilers.
That's
Oof.
true.
I mean,
That's
at
true.
this
That's
point, it's
true.
not.
That's true.
Oh my god,
That's
Michael
true.
Keaton in The Flash was phenomenal. Like that was so good. Just him describing the multiverse with spaghetti. Like I want to
Mhm.
take that scene and put it in the MCU and be like, yes, this is how this works in both of these. They are two different Batmans, Bale versus Keaton. That's very true. They
So
are very
Doug.
different Batmans.
What was that, Greg?
Yeah.
We could go all
I was
night
gonna
about
say,
the
Doug,
Batman.
I knew
apparently.
it would be. Well, we can all of it.
Comic
But
books now.
Doug, we're gonna get to what you're watching. We're actually going to see through that. We're gonna get to what Doug's watching,
I'll
and
be-
we'll get to what y'all watching. Doug, what are you watching?
Well, I'm going to be intrigued to see if this is anywhere in Matt and Lauren's wheelhouse because it is
Oh, yeah, let's
geeky.
bring
It is geeky. The Halo TV series season 2 is out.
Oh yeah.
I am a giant Halo nerd. It is my favorite video game of all time, bar none, including Mario Brothers, which is hard to say because those games are fucking great. I will tell you, the first season I was like, this is decent, and I'll see what they do. The second season, man, they just fucking hit the ground fucking running. And I was just like, okay, great.
Dude, that opening sequence where they're on the
That
volcano planet, or not the volcano planet, but like they're coming in to wipe out. So I actually got screeners for this and started watching it on my way to Orlando. And dude, I gotta say, I hated season 1, but season 2 started out really strong.
Yeah, that opening scene, I said, Chris Carlton's in the chat. I said something to him and my friend Jay, and I was like, this opening scene is fucking great. Like, I was just like, all right, I'm in. Let's go. And it's interesting because they take the mythos of Halo is always Master Chief. You never see his face. And in this series, you see his face in like the first fucking episode. So it's different, but I think they're trying to do a thing where they're sort of humanizing the Spartan program, which I never did before, which is an interesting take. It's a different take. Some of the books do this too, where they kind of do a little bit more humanization of them, whereas video games don't. But man, I'm really liking this second season. Much like I said, I didn't hate the first season. I thought the first season was meh, but the second season so far, 3 episodes in, I'm in. I'm all in on it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It was, and I'm not even against, like, I know a lot of people were complaining about, oh, he took his helmet off, blah, blah, blah. But like, the games are one thing. You only have X amount of time to play video games, right? And the story is the story. So like, to kind of humanize and put a person into Master Chief's suit, I'm okay with that. And I really do think season 2. So what I read from season 2 is that they actually have writers who are big fans of the game, and they kind of came in and took over because they fired everybody from season 1. And
Good.
so you can definitely tell that season 2 is way better product than whatever season 1 was.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just really impressed how, like, that opening scene alone, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So now this is a bit different. Like, you could feel it even in the first scene. So yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I'm so glad you were able to talk about this.
I'm a big look. I was forged in the Xbox Live rooms of Halo, man. Like those were some of my favorite nights. Were staying up until 3 a.m. playing Halo online on Xbox Live, and they're memories that I just hold dear to my heart. And so this show means a lot to me, and I think season 2 is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, all right. Side note: favorite Halo game.
Oh, I loved Halo 2. I don't know why. Halo 2 was always the best. Like they moved it so much more forward. Like Halo 1 set the groundwork, but Halo 2 just unfolded this universe into like a massive, things were bigger, things meant more. You got more behind Master Chief. You actually felt the stakes. And Halo 2 to me was just the it factor.
The big thing is the multiplayer that they put online. That was the forerunner. Haha. If you're a Halo person, sorry, that was a funny joke. Basically, that was like Call of Duty. Call of Duty used their online stuff for Halo that's how they modeled their own online stuff. So they were the folks that really kind of brought that sort of first-person shooter online stuff out where it worked. It was I saw one person say that the folks that were making it weren't sure if it was going to work, and they called it a happy accident. That was a fucking happy accident, the best one that I've seen, like where they just made something and that shit worked. Like I played thousands of fucking hours on Halo 2 just with friends, just fucking games of CTF, and just like it was such a great game. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yes.
All right, sorry for the sideline there.
All right. No worries. Let's catch up on the comments here real quick before we get to Lauren. What Lauren's watching. We have a question for Matt here.
Oh, Alexandria. Okay. All right. I'm in Williamsburg, Virginia. I will actually be in DC on March 8th. I'm going to be doing a Batman panel at AwesomeCon at 1. No, actually, I lied. I'm sorry. I will be doing an MCU panel at AwesomeCon at 1:30 March 8th. I will be doing a Batman panel at GalaxyCon the following weekend in Richmond, Virginia.
Man, you're all over that place.
Yeah, it's just it's a 2-hour drive. So Alexandria is awesome.
You, Doug, there. Yeah, Shoemaker Batmans were.
Hey, come on now. The Schumacher Batman were awesome.
Victor Love. I loved how they completely copied the laundry scene from the martial arts movie in Batman and Robin. Chris is patiently waiting for live action Avatar on Netflix next week. And Manny wants to know if anybody has watched Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 1 yet.
I've not yet.
I've been meaning I need to watch that. Yeah.
What is that on?
Probably HBO Max, I would think.
Yeah, it's on Max.
Yeah, they do all the DC stuff.
Okay, that's true.
Lauren, for a geek that watches everything, what is currently on your menu?
I don't think I watch as much variety as Matt does. Anybody who's listened to our podcast or knows us knows I'm a big Supernatural fan. So I'm always rewatching that, even though I didn't get into it until like 6 years ago. That's my default. This week, outside of watching the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, I haven't really watched much other than Griselda on Netflix, which is I love mafia stuff, and Griselda is are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah, did you ever watch Vergara?
Yeah.
No. Tell us.
Did you ever watch Cocaine Cowboys, the documentary? So she was the godmother.
No.
Like there's a quote from Pablo Escobar that says, "I've never been they're the only man I've ever been scared of wasn't a man." And it was Griselda, and it's not a documentary, but it's the same people that did Narcos, which was fantastic. And so they're going through her story, and it's so interesting because obviously, you know, she's a drug dealer and she's a murderer and she's a terrible person. But because she had to be so terrible,
Right.
because she was a woman trying to make it in the drug industry in Miami in the 80s, that like I'm rooting for her because the guys are so mean to her. And so like I still have, I think, 1 or 2 episodes left. But if anybody's into anything fictional or nonfiction in regards to mob and mafia stuff, I cannot recommend this enough. And Sofia Vergara, I always say her last name incorrectly. She's fucking killing it, man. If you just know her from Modern Family for being funny, like she is killing it in this role. She is phenomenal, and it is so good. And that's all.
She's the mob boss lady.
Yeah, she's Griselda. Yeah. And they like had to give her prosthetics to make her not look so hot. Because she's drop dead gorgeous.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. Oof. Is she so quick question on that one. Do you have to watch Narcos in order to get Grisella, or can you just watch this?
You can just watch it on its own. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, like I had only ever known of her from watching the documentary Cocaine Cowboys years ago, which if anybody hasn't watched that, that is scary and crazy and fascinating at the same time, especially because I like grew up in South Florida when all this was happening, so it's crazy to think like that this was happening. Like you watch this and you're like, oh my gosh, who would live in Miami in the 80s? This is terrible. I did.
Right. Hey,
it's very interesting.
Someone I know.
Yes, that's our good friend, the Brewery Travels, man. Joel is awesome. He goes to so many cool places.
We did a Girls Point Out episode with him.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. He goes so many places and gets to do so many cool things and breweries and focuses on those that like I love watching where he goes next.
Yeah, he just joined Greg's.
I can tell you actually. I can. Dog.
Sorry,
don't steal my thunder. I actually got a wonderful graphic for all this. I didn't know that y'all knew Joel.
Oh, but, of course.
Joel is doing our Badger Beer Hour starting next Wednesday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we are happy to have him in the family. It's going to be great. He's going to turn his expertise for breweries into reporting, what's going on in our breweries here in Wisconsin. So we are excited to have him. He was on last week. He was on the last 2 weeks of the stream, actually, y'all. So if you want to go back and see Joel, he was there. But good times. Look at that. Everybody's all connected. It's great. No worries, Doug.
I love that about the beer industry and enthusiasts.
Yeah, he loves, he like us loves the breweries, man. And we got to do as much as we can, especially now, to save them, because they're still there's still closings, things going on. A lot of strife still going on. A lot of not to go down a crappy rabbit hole, but I guess we can if we want. The number and the quality of a lot of the craft brewers it's kind of working against the industry a little bit now, because we have so much choice, and it's so many good ones, and it's so hard to really focus your money sometimes. We've had Fair State up here in Minneapolis. I don't know, y'all familiar with Fair State? You probably are.
I am. Yeah.
They just said they were going into bankruptcy, but they said, look, we're just reshuffling here, but you can help us.
I think they said 11.
Excuse me.
Okay. I was asking if it was a 7 or 11, but if it's an 11, that can be a good thing. Yeah.
And so they just said, hey, come to our brew pub, buy our beer. So I'm trying to get that happen. But Joel's going to be fun to work. He's already fun to work with, actually. And what's also fun to work with, Matt, is what you're watching.
Oh man, what am I watching? I've been obviously Supernatural's been a big watch for me because I'm halfway through season 10. Yeah, it's my first time through it. I've been watching that.
Dragon's Milk. Oh, I might go get one of those. I have one of
Dragon's Milk are good. Yeah.
Which variant JHD and which variant for you, Lauren? You need to know that.
Ooh.
Wait,
it doesn't have a variant, but yeah, you're right, Doug.
Sorry. Go ahead, Joel. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry, I said Joel.
No, you're good. I've been watching that. I've been playing a lot of I don't know that I ever thought I would be here because I always used to make fun of it, but I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, so I haven't been necessarily watching a lot of things.
Fortnite, where they do the dances
Yes, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite,
that my
but
kids watch.
yes,
Can you floss?
I will say like Love on the Spectrum on Netflix has been oddly a point of contention for
My
my wife
daughter's
and
mad
I.
that I can floss so well.
That's been one that we've been watching. I can't floss to save my life. Neither can my kids. And getting to watch my kids try to floss is the funniest.
Whoa, wait. Love on the Spectrum?
I have been
Yeah,
watching.
you never heard of
What's
that,
Love
Greg?
on the Spectrum?
On Netflix.
So it's a show that's centered around people with autism, and they're trying to set them up on dates. And it's
Okay.
dude, it's the most it's the most heartwarming shit you will ever watch in your life because it's like people are so cruel to each other in real life. And you just watch this show and they're so forward, they're so blunt, but they're so respectful. And it really gives you like a very good appreciation on, just human relationships. So the wife and I have been watching that one.
How is that a point of contention?
I don't, I don't know. It's just is, I guess.
Okay.
I just, man, I've been watching just those two things, I guess. It's really what I've been watching. I haven't watched any good movies lately. I was supposed to go see Madam Web today. I have. Actually, there's one thing I do want to say. I watched Lisa Frankenstein last week, and I want to plug the shit out of this movie. I fucking loved this movie so much. It is a Tim Burton meets John Hughes, and if they fucked and had a baby, that is what this movie is. And it's so much fun. Like Cole Sprouse, Catherine Newton, Catherine Newton from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Essentially, like she's this teenage girl in her senior year of high school who has gone through some shit, and she somehow brings back to life this dead ancient old person from the 1800s, and she makes him a Frankenstein in a roundabout way. And it's such a good movie, man. It is so awkward. It's got romance. It's got some like absolute crazy things. But aside from that, like I'm really excited from Bad Batch to come out this week. Bad Batch, this third and final season of Bad Batch for Star Wars.
Yes.
It's gonna lead right into the Clone Rebellion, which if you don't know anything about the Clone Rebellion, oh my God, buckle up. But I have not watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith yet. I'm a behind on TV shows, and I'm gonna get back into them soon.
Oh, you got Mjolnir opening the bottle.
Yeah, I was
That's
going to say,
excellent.
Lauren's got a whole ass hammer she's opening the bottle with.
This is my daughter's boyfriend gave this to me for Christmas. It's a Mjolnir bottle opener.
Yeah, well, he gave me Tom Hiddleston's sign that
He
we gave to
did,
Abby.
yes.
So
He worked at MegaCon, and we were all excited, but he was like at Tom Hiddleston's booth, and we're like, oh my gosh, like my daughter's on the phone with him when we're driving to MegaCon. He's like, yeah, I'm at his booth. But he never got to meet him because he was like far away. But he did get to meet William Shatner, Danny Trejo, Eli Roth.
okay,
all
no,
of
we
these
need to tell
guys.
the Eli Roth story.
Okay. All right, please.
So my last name is Roth, and I was joking around. I was like, Eli Roth, oh my God, are you my dad who disappeared when I was 3 and I haven't seen since then? And Sergio thought it was the funniest thing on earth. And so he gets to meet Eli Roth. We're gone at this point. He tells Eli Roth this story as he's about to take a picture with him. And Eli Roth is just like awkwardly like,
He's like, he did not think it was funny.
what? He did not find it funny at all. And then he snaps his picture and Eli Roth just leaves. But it was just like, oh, Sergio, oh no, what did you do? Oh Lord, but he's such the sweetest kid on earth.
He
man.
is a super duper sweet kid.
Well, at least Eli Roth didn't put you in a hostel, so that's good.
True, but it was just like, oh, Eli Roth, like, hey man, I wanted to go up and talk to him, but like, hey man, my name is Roth. Like, are you just joking around? I would have said this to him, but Sergio said it to him, and I was just like, oh, Sergio, you
so and so.
It's such a sweet. I mean, like he's been dating my daughter they just hit their 4-year anniversary, and they're way too young to have hit that. But he's such a sweet kid, and so yeah, he got to bring home the giant sign. So if you've ever been to a con where they have the signs with the celebrities, they let people bring that home. So he was just like, I just brought it home, and like Matt took pictures with it. My cousin brought it home. I don't know.
I
What
was
she
in a
did with
Loki
it.
Roosevelt shirt, so I had to take pictures with it because I was in a Loki
Timmy
Roosevelt
Stanley,
shirt.
hey.
Hey, our good man Tim. So if you don't know Tim, Tim always cameos in every episode. There's always a Tim story. So at this point, we've pretty much just Tim Stanley cameo, and we plug him every single episode.
Well, he's a friend of mine, and then he's been on the podcast a couple times. So it started
You
to
got him
happen
here.
where he always came up in different episodes. So we started calling it our Stanley cameo. I did get a
There he
beer.
is.
I got a whoever said Dragon's Milk. You inspired me. I ran to the beer fridge
Oh,
and got a Dragon's
hey.
Milk.
Yeah. That's GHG. He's a common guest on our show. Like
I had a
few
soup
times.
juice ready to go that was much lower ABV, but I went with the
I
Dragon's
can't
Milk.
believe that you are holding out on family business on me.
I have it on the family business glass, though.
Standing on business, as the kids say.
That's true. Do say that.
Not me. The kids say that because I'm too fucking old to say that.
I say
What
it.
did you
I'll
say?
be
It's
honest.
probably something my kids say. What did you say?
No, as it's standing on business.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what standing on business is, Lauren? Come on now.
I can't get over the bet thing. Like you even say that, Matt. My
I
11-year-old
am the
was
youth.
bet. I'm like,
Apparently, I'm still the
bet?
youth, guys. Because I always go out there. I'm like, I'm standing on business right now, and I fit right in.
Never
know.
heard that.
I'm a spy.
The thing is, my oldest
So-
thought that OG meant original group, and I was like,
no.
that is
Oh Lord.
adorable. She kept saying OG, and I'm like, you're not the kid that would say that. And then finally one day I was like, do you know what that means? She goes, yeah, original group.
Yeah, I'm down
No.
with OPP, Mom.
I was like, that's correct. Good for you. She's down with
Yes,
other
that's
people's
exactly that's exactly what it
problems
means.
because she wants to help them.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, what are you drinking there, dude? You got a third one going. What's that?
Yeah, it's Triple Nova from Ale Asylum. It's their big triple. It is as you see, very clear, crisp drinker. Little boozy as it warms up, but really
that
fruitful.
sounds there.
Mostly what I remember it from. Maybe a little bit different. I heard that the recipes kind of changed a little bit different because of hops and different things going on, but it is a good one, and I love a triple in February, which leads me to Doug. You have one, but
Yeah.
until then, I'm gonna while Doug drinks his, I want y'all to think about this question, and then after Doug drinks, we'll answer it.
All right, so I'm gonna grab the dumbest beer that I have in my fridge.
The dumbest beer?
Dumbest,
Hey, you
well,
guys.
it's the silliest beer I have in my fridge. So look at the label, right? So it's a pig in a cowboy outfit, right?
That's a pig?
That's what I was thinking. Wow. Girth Brooks.
Girth Brooks.
Imperial Stout
Really?
by Hoof Hearted Brewery.
Oh my god. My
Hearted is
kids
good. They're out of
love the name of that
Connecticut, yeah.
brewery.
That place is fun.
Yeah, and it is 15%. So this is the big end to end the game for me tonight. But I saved this because I was like, this is going to be the right show for this because it's silly and I'm going to do it. So
Good. You made a wise decision.
My beer is only 11%.
Trust me, 11 is plenty. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to drink half of this because of how high ABV it is.
If you can dream it, you can be it.
Man, you need to smell what the rock is cooking.
I do. Apparently, it's not the tribal chief. You know, Roman Reigns, because they all turned heel.
Did you hear how The Rock's wife found out she had COVID?
No.
She couldn't smell what he was cooking.
Oh God. I gotta go home. My mom's calling.
Yeah. Did you ever see the video of John Cena where he's talking to this old lady and they're having tea together, and he's like really dressed up, and she said, "My granddaughter said I'm like I told her you were coming over, and she said I might not be able to see you," and then he had to explain the whole thing like this,
No.
which was just adorable. Like it was super adorable. So yeah. But cheers to this.
Fun.
It smells boozy as fuck, so this ought to be really great.
My daughter's.
Here you go, Matt.
It's so frustrating. And when
Victor's
I
daughter
asked her to
says bet.
explain me, yeah. And
I
then she
do.
goes, it means like, you betcha. And I'm like, oh, so you betcha? And she was like, no. not
Oh,
like
you
that.
betcha, yeah.
So today in the car on the way to dropping her off, I happen to have the radio on, which I usually don't. I have my phone on, and New Kids on the Block came on, and it was hanging in, or You Got the Right Stuff, and I started. You got the right stuff. And she goes, is this going to be what I'm like when I'm old? Am I going to dance like this in the car with my kids? And I'm like, only if you're cool.
Right.
She's mean.
Yeah. Poor Chris. He's got to keep up with all that shit so he knows what the fuck's going on.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Christ.
Matt
You
was
are a
ready to
saint.
jump off on this question. So Matt, you first.
Man,
Matt, you first.
I was thinking if February is a beer, so everybody likes to talk about stout season being like the cold months. February's still pretty cold, so I'm gonna go with like a good like maple porter. Number one, because I love maple. I would drink a gallon of maple syrup just raw. I would raw dog the shit out of some maple syrup. Secondly, like a porter, man. It's like you're transitioning back to like IPAs and summer beers and things like that. And so to me, February, if it was a beer, we're transitioning to the lighter stuff. It's gonna be a maple porter.
All
Interesting.
right, Lauren.
That's
So because I live in Florida,
Great.
every day is stout season. Stout season is all year. So I would never disrespect a maple stout like that.
What about your surroundings?
I hate February. It's colder than it should be. It's overhyped. I think that February is a overhyped smoothie sour that explodes before you're ready to open it. And it's always super red and pink, which is not cute, and it stains stuff and nobody really wants it, but you buy it anyways because you feel obligated and you're trying to make Valentine's be nice, but nobody actually really likes Valentine's. So February is an overhyped smoothie sour that is bright red and pink.
All right, Lauren. Jeez.
I'm happily married, I promise you. I just don't like Valentine's Day. And I don't like February. I'm so sick of it being cold.
Doug?
I would like to say you saying it's cold in Florida makes me fucking
I'll let
laugh.
you follow that one up.
Okay, but it was 74 degrees when I was in Florida, and she's like, "It's so cold," and I'm like, "It feels great out right now."
It was freezing when you were here.
That is not fucking freezing.
I have not been on the boat or been to the beach in like 2
Oh.
months.
Oh, that just breaks my heart.
I feel like you don't mean that.
I'm so sorry for
I
you.
know.
Timmy, you still here? Help me out, Timmy. Because he moved from New York to Florida for better weather.
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 Is it better
And
weather?
this winter has been wet and cold. And tomorrow we're supposed to have our Smash Beer Fest, which is your single malt and single hop. And it is supposed to be cold and wet. And 74 degrees is not cold.
74
yes,
was
it
awesome.
is if
No,
it's
not.
windy and overcast. First
it's
world
not.
problem.
No,
Okay, would you like to understand how cold it was this morning when I took my little Boston Terrier out? Because that little fucker had to go
She
out.
don't care. She don't care.
It was the wind chill was -2 at
She
my
don't
house.
care.
Jesus Christ. In your house?
No,
don't care.
when I took my dog out. No, it wasn't in my house. That's
Oh, I
cold.
thought you said it was
Jesus.
-2 in your
He's
house.
got-
And I was like, you
Maybe.
should move.
Maybe though.
I said at my house, so maybe
Oh, at
that
your
was
house.
Maybe. Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Well,
What was that, Greg?
maybe that's why you should use a top sheet. Maybe that's why you should use a top sheet, Doug. But
It was 59 degrees when I took the kids
we'll
to
leave
school
that.
this morning.
Go on, Doug. What-
I would love it to be 59 degrees. Anyway, if I'm going to pick a beer for this month, I'm going to pick. I don't think anybody overrates February. I think most everybody hates fucking February. But I'm going to say it's a cold IPA.
Ooh.
I love a cold IPA though.
I do not. So that's why it's my beer of February.
My wife's birthday's in February. I can't say I hate the month of February.
My wife's birthday is in February, and so is my daughter's birthday. So, but
Okay.
February itself as a month outside of those 2 days sucks.
It's fair.
Cold IPAs are so good. They're like they perfected the West Coast IPA. I feel like I love them so much. What do you not like about them?
Greg,
Am I opening Pandora's box?
You were warned about Doug's bad take. So
I didn't know a cold
you were just
IPA
warned
was
about
gonna
Doug's
be one of
bad
them.
food take. So there was one of them, and that's fine.
here's the thing.
It's fine. Don't worry.
The thing is, for IPAs are very. Here's the thing. I don't mind certain IPAs. I really don't. I like
Oh,
Northeast.
okay, I get you.
I like Northeast IPAs because they're citrusy as opposed to hop forward.
So you don't like the hops and
I don't like them
mint and all
overly.
that.
I don't like the hops just obliterating my palate. I don't like that. Like if you drink a hazy, to me, you got to drink like 2 glasses of water to get the taste out of your mouth. And it's not that it's a bad taste. It's just like if you want to sample anything, that isn't an IPA after that, good luck. Like that's how I feel about it.
Palate wrecker.
Yeah. To me.
No, that's fair. I get that. Yeah.
Is it though? I love hazies. I do.
First world beer drinker problems.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with really quick. I'll just go with triple. Why not?
That's your February.
It's a big beer. It goes down really fast. Warms you up. Yeah, it's a big beer. It's crisp. It's nice. Triple could actually be triple. You could do in the summer too. Triples.
100%.
Look, it's always stout season,
I like
even
to
if it's
switch it up,
summer.
y'all,
I don't care.
I'll drink a stout in July
Matt,
on the beach.
absolutely. So Doug and I drink stouts in July. Hell yeah! So I'll drink a triple in February and be fun with it. Now, unless y'all have something here, I got a question for you, or I want y'all reaction to this. So y'all can just jump off if you want. But I was interested in this. I think this is interesting. Do you think this is going to work, y'all? Do you think it?
Yeah,
You know
Ryan
what?
Gosling could do anything. He's the biggest action star. He just plays it so well.
He's just Ken, but I think he can pull it off.
Saying he's. Go ahead, Lauren. Sorry, I jumped in there.
No, you're good.
Saying he's the biggest action star is a bit far-fetched. I think he can play a million different things. I think he's a very versatile actor, but saying he's the biggest action star is a bit, for me.
Look at he was in Blade Runner. He was in Nice Guys. He plays this like straight deadpan action hero very well, and then obviously he's got the humor because we've seen with Ken. Like he's dude. Ryan Gosling so hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, will there be horses in the next Rambo? Because he may not be interested if there's not horses.
Maybe not horses, but what about the patriarchy?
Isn't that the same thing?
Same thing.
It
Maybe.
is.
Tim said he likes IPAs more than Ben Affleck in a Duncan sweatsuit. Okay, so Tim hates IPAs, so that is saying something.
I think Manny has a great point. How about no more Rambos?
And look, I can play Rambo, I think.
So what's better? Ben Affleck in the Duncan's suit?
Who wore it better?
You know what?
I'm gonna do a who wore it better when I get that Dunkings jacket. I'm like, who wore it better, me or Matt Damon?
Matt.
I think Matt, 100%. And you also had more confidence. The whole point of that commercial was Ben Affleck was self-conscious about what he was wearing.
Yeah, Matt Damon didn't want to be there. Me, I'm gonna flaunt my stuff. I'm there. I'm in it. This is my personality.
You know what my grandpa always said? If you got it, flaunt it.
That's true.
That's true.
All right, so I'm going to ask a quick question, Greg, if you don't mind.
True.
Sort of pinwheeling off your Ryan Gosling thing. I'm going to ask you a question about a movie that I heard is being remade, and it fucking pisses me off because it should not be remade, in my humble opinion. Roadhouse.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, and his name is escaping my brain, but
it's got Jake Gyllenhaal who's starring in it. Conor McGregor.
Jake Gyllenhaal is going to play Patrick Swayze's role.
Yes.
Too soon.
I'm not the biggest fan of this, just because I don't think this is one of the things that we need to remake.
Yeah, was it remade? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, it is now with Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm saying it's it's one of those things that we did not need to remake it at all.
You can't do the Swayze-ness. That's what made that movie was a dumbass fucking movie on all accounts. It was just dumb, but Swayze makes it work. And you can't.
Swayze can make anything work.
Well, he used to, can't anymore.
Aww.
Sorry.
Dog, that's not.
Yeah.
I warned
I
you
will
about
say-
dog, y'all. I tried to tell you. Shit.
All right. You want a really hot take? That was his best role.
Oh, was
I've
it
actually
Ghost?
never seen Roadhouse. His best role
Really?
wasn't
What?
Ghost. No, I haven't seen it.
oh wow.
Yeah, it is
That's
great.
wild.
This is exactly right. It was one of those singular and signature 80s movies. It was dumb, but exactly right for that time period. The only other movie that I think that would be in contention for that would be Point Break.
That
Point
one
Break
I've
was a
seen.
great movie. Ghost was he was not great in that movie.
I mean, none of those movies were great.
No.
Okay, I have not watched Ghost probably since I was a kid, but like I remember Ghost being really good. You had Whoopi
But it
Goldberg
wasn't-
in it, and
All right, so it wasn't good because of Swayze. He was barely in it.
well, I mean, but it was such a significant movie.
Matt, this is for you.
Yeah. I actually fun fact, Manny. Actually, I brewed a beer with a brewery in Idaho before they sold it. It was called Donut Geek, and it was actually brewed with a dozen donuts, and it was a donut stout. And it's because of the whole Dunkin' debacle that came out of them putting me on their Instagram, and then just never calling me again. And my friend who owned the brewery was like, "Dude, we got you," and we brewed a Donut Geek stout together. And yeah, you know what? One day, Dunkin' Donuts is going to recognize.
But it was a 2-piece though, so you didn't have to worry about taking the whole thing off to pee.
Well, right. It's a sweatshirt. It's a fucking sweatpants.
Right. So he
and,
could just pull his pants down.
I mean, not down to the ankles. No, you just whip it out. What am
I
I, sick?
have a husband and a son. I'm familiar how the process works. I meant you didn't need a front flap.
Pull my pants down when I'm 6 years old. Yes, actually, sometimes to assert dominance, I do.
You do you. It's not a full-on onesie, although I think Carrie and I were calling it a onesie at one
It
point
is
when you first
essentially a
got it.
onesie. Yeah, essentially, more or less. I
That's hilarious. Well, we are brothers in booze, y'all. Or were we gonna say Matt?
no, I don't even.
We gonna say Matt.
I don't even remember at this point.
Oh, okay. Okay. We at Brothers and Booze like to celebrate days. You know how like certain days are, each day has like a different
Celebratory.
day that they celebrate. So today, y'all, I warned y'all. Today is let's wait for that graphic to come up because my stuff is lagging. Today is National Do a Grouch or Favor Day, y'all.
Okay, for a second I thought it was just do a grouch day.
It's to spread love, Doug. Well,
if you
now,
gotta.
I'm not.
I
All
mean,
of y'all
you
are
might not be a
married,
grouch
so
after you do.
I'm gonna leave that. Right. But I figured since y'all all have rich histories of knowing fictitious and cinematic characters, is there anybody in the fictitious or cinematic world that's a grouch?
Yes,
You would like to say something nice to?
Han Solo is
okay. Matt, you're jumping off the mic, so you go, Matt.
Yeah, Han Solo, dude. He's
okay.
such
And
a
what
grouch.
do you want to say to Han Solo? What kind of love do you want to spread to him?
You know what? I just want to say
What
to
kind of
Han
love do you wanna
Solo
spread?
that he saved the galaxy. Without Han Solo, the second Death Star would not have blown up. The first Death Star would have blown up, and Emperor Palpatine would have ruled forever. And so, thank you, Han Solo. And then in the sequel trilogy, thank you, Han Solo, for coming back and finding your ship. Because without you, we wouldn't have found it, and we would not have saved the galaxy again. So, thank you.
Lauren?
I mean,
Excellent.
Wolverine's
Lauren,
kind of grouch.
do you have any?
Yeah, Wolverine's a grouch. Rightfully so, though. He's had a bit of a traumatic past.
Yes, yeah.
Doing him a favor, I will try to help the next person that Sabretooth tries to kill that you love from not dying. I don't know. That's a hard one. It's a hard one. I just thought it was do a grouch, so I was like, I got this. I got Wolverine.
Do a grouch. Do a grouch.
Yes. Doug, do you have any grouch that you would like to dress in the fictitious world of that we live in a lot?
Certainly. Well, I have two, actually. And the first one is a little off kilter, but I think if Jack Torrance from The Shining just had a little love, he might not have been such a knucklehead.
One.
You don't think olive oil gave him love?
Shelley Duvall. Oh, man.
Is Black Widow a grouch? Asking for.
Oh, that's a good question.
If she is, I would love
No.
to say something nice about Black Widow because Scarlett Johansson, girl, call me.
I don't think she's a grouch.
No.
I think she's just level-headed and reasonable.
Yeah, I do agree.
I think Hawkeye's a grouch because everybody kind of shits on him. But
Yeah, that's fair. Everyone's so mean to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like, oh, you shoot arrows? Great. Nice. So the other one I'm going to give you, and this may fly over some people's
Doug, and
heads.
who's your second one? Yep.
My second one might fly over some people's heads unless you read books. and specific books. So in the Dark Tower series, the protagonist is Roland
I
Duchesne.
think I've never read these books. I'll be right back.
And that guy's a grouch, but there's a very good reason why he's a fucking grouch. And I would like to help him be cheerier, but I'm not sure it would help him in his quest. So, yeah, that flew over a lot of people's heads. Apologies.
You know, if you reached one person, he got really
Yeah.
excited, or she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I struggled with this one, even though I asked y'all it. No, I struggled with this one, even though I asked y'all it. So I'm gonna say my not friend, but a person I spent 7 seasons with, Mr. Walter White. I would like to.
Oh.
He's a grouch from Breaking Bad, and he's original grouch. I'm not sure what I could offer him as far as help or anything, because pretty much his whole life was a fucking train wreck. So I don't know. I just feel that sometimes the meth dealers are sometimes misunderstood, Lauren. They're not all bad. Like 95% bad. But that 5%, I think he loved one of his sons. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, my shout out goes out to Walter White, and I don't know. I'm not sure. The dude had cancer. He was a whole ass mess. So I'm not sure.
Fantastic.
He had cancer. They didn't want to get people money, so he sold meth, and and then
as one does with our.
He was involved in a whole bunch of mess, and so yeah.
Did you? So my husband's actually been rewatching Walking Dead, and there is a scene where Daryl has the bag of drugs, and you can see the blue meth. I had heard that, and so it's true. So there's actually blue meth in the bag with Daryl's drugs in The Walking Dead. Why does it look like Greg has
nice. I don't know who Roy Kent is.
You know,
Ted Lasso, man.
So good.
Oh, Ted Lasso was one of the best TV shows ever out there.
Yeah. Roy Kent is phenomenal. What he can do with curse words is fucking
He's a grump, though?
He's an absolute. He's like an old soccer player who ends up retiring.
Yeah.
And so he takes on like various different roles. He ends up.
And he's a grouch.
He's ultimate grouch.
He is
without a doubt.
The grouch.
Grouchy old retired soccer player. Yes, without a doubt.
But a lovable grouch.
So what kind of love should we send out to him?
All the love, because he deserves all of it.
He needs a hug. If above all else, Roy Kent,
and he'd be like this.
But he would reciprocate that hug. But he would reciprocate that hug.
He would, because he knows you need it, and he doesn't want to give it. But he's a good.
Yes.
You should definitely watch.
So one of the things that Doug and I kind of always talk about. Okay, yeah, and I was gonna address that. One of the things that Doug laughs at me about is that sometimes I won't, or many times I will not start a series unless I know it's over because I just want to binge it.
It is
and
over.
I'm impatient as hell, and I can't wait for another season to come. So like, I just need it to all be done. So then I have to
And
avoid
you want to know
all
what's going to end.
y'all talking about it, and then so sometimes it takes years, right? So sometimes it does take years. So sometimes Ted Lasso will end, and I'll be like, oh, I'll get to that shit, and then like 3 years later, I'm like, oh shit, I need to get to Ted Lasso, and by that time, I'm like, yeah, I saw Ted Lasso, and y'all like, what are you talking about? That was
Bro,
5
welcome
years
to the
ago.
party.
I'm like, I don't
No.
care. It was good.
2000
Fuck
and
y'all.
late.
Anyway,
Dude,
so
move Ted Lasso to the top of your watch list. Trust me, it's over. There's only 3 seasons. Move
okay,
it to the top of your
Okay.
list. Trust.
all right. I have to put this at the top of my list though, y'all. Actually, this I want everybody to know.
Do it
that-
live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
That one I loved.
Y'all, so real quick, I wanted to talk about this real fast for Black History Month, y'all. I gotta wait because I got a delay here. But so in 1847, y'all, Missouri passed an act that prohibited Black people from learning to read and write. 1847, y'all. Missouri passed an act that prohibited Black people from learning to read and write and assembling freely to worship. I thought we had freedom of religion and speech in this country, y'all. What were we doing in 1847? So I just want to say to y'all who are out there who say that slavery happened 300 years ago, what do we need to be talking about this for? It was in 1847, y'all, that we were that they enacted the law. When was the law repealed? When did it happen? What's going on? That's all I really got for my comment on that. I think if anybody else wants to speak on it, that's cool. But I'm just really pushing back on this whole narrative of, we should be done with the racism things. Yes, we should be done with the racism thing, but it's a lot sooner in our rearview mirror than a lot of people would like to take. And it's on all of us to eradicate it. It's not anybody's fault. It's not white people's fault. I mean, on some level, yeah, it is white people's fault. Okay. But it takes all of us to, especially white people, to eradicate the bullshit and to stop the lies and the bullshit and all that. So that's that. One other thing I would like to give a shout out to, Doug and I have not, unfortunately, talked about this wonderful man and his wonderful legacy, but I figured he would fit right in here with y'all is RIP to this guy. He was a legend. He was an icon. He was everything as far as everything goes in TV. And I will actually, y'all want to talk about the 1847 thing in Missouri? That's great. But I really love to give some parting, shouting, RIP shout outs to our icon, Carl Weathers. Who's the first?
Yeah. So we actually found out about Carl Weathers passing while we were at MegaCon.
Yes.
And it was super shitty because Carl Weathers was actually at MegaCon 9 months ago and I got to see his panel. It was phenomenal. And like his story in Mando is not done by any means. And,
at all.
You know, my daughter was literally watching Happy Gilmore the week before. But I will say what we saw at MegaCon was absolutely beautiful with Tamara Morrison, who plays Boba Fett. Yes, Chubbs. So Tamara Morrison stood up in his panel and sang a song in his ancient language for Carl Weathers and for Shauna, their costume designer, who passed not that long ago. So that was an absolutely beautiful, amazing moment. And like, Carl Weathers, I mean, he's hit so many cultural with Apollo Creed and like Mando and Happy Gilmore. I mean, all of these, he's a household name. Like that was a hard hit, and he was too young.
For sure.
I feel like
Yeah, I mean, what can you
Matt?
say about Carl Weathers? I mean, Chubbs was my first introduction into him as a human being, with Happy Gilmore, and then I watched Predator, right? And that iconic
Predator.
scene where he's in Predator, and then of course he's in Mando, and it's just one of those things that we were at MegaCon, and I looked at my phone, I was like, dude, Lauren, holy shit, Carl Weathers died, and we were both just kind of like, what? Like, it's just
Kind
wild.
of taken back a little.
Yeah, and then we went into the Boba Fett
He
panel.
was only like 62.
No, he
or
was in
something?
his 70s.
Yeah.
But 76, I think. He was 76. And
Oh,
but
I'm thinking Toby Keith was like 62.
yeah.
Well, let's not talk about that fucker. So
I got a
76
stack
is
of red
still
solo
young.
cups. No,
I don't care. That guy
I'm
was a racist
joking.
piece of
Those are
shit. That
terrible
guy
for
was
the environment.
Yeah.
Do not use red
Yeah.
solo cups.
Yeah.
But no, the Carl Weathers thing, yeah, it was a shock.
It
Yeah,
really
very much
was. And just he entertained us for so long, and to hear that he suddenly passes, it was tough. So shout out to
Yeah.
Carl Weathers, man. He will live through on. That's the beautiful thing about movies, is that a lot of these actors who just have gone out there and have absolutely crushed their roles, and they will live on through their work, and we get to still watch them, and it's like they've never left us. And that's the beautiful thing about
Yep.
it. Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy to think that like I literally saw him like 9
Doug?
months before at the previous MegaCon, and he was
Yeah.
so good. So
Yeah.
good.
All right, so I'm gonna jump into another beer because that last beer I had was terrible. So I was like, I had a couple sips. I'm like, no, that one was bad. So
I'm all
And
for the
so-
drain pour. Only drink what you like.
Agreed.
well, my son's boyfriend is here, and I just pointed off on him. Here you go, dude. Enjoy this. I'm like, I hated it, but you may like
Poor
it.
guy.
He's 22. He's probably like, yeah, great. So anyway,
Great free
Well, they
beer.
like anything
Yeah.
at that age as far as alcohol. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I pulled out Dragon's Milk as well, but this is a
Oh
reserve.
wow.
Hey.
This is a s'mores. So this is I've had this on the show before, but you all had Dragon's Milk and now it was MPS, and it's the last one of this that I've had. So I know this is going to be delicious because fucking Dragon's Milk. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, at least I'll enjoy it. That last one was like, it tasted almost like a malt beverage, which I do
Mm.
not like. So, but this one, look at that. This
Ooh, I
pours
have that
great.
same glass.
I love that glass.
Mhm.
Yes. So pretty. Look at all that head, man. That is some frothy head.
Yeah, and that's been in my fridge for probably 2 or 3 months, so that's not too bad.
Nice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Dragon's Milk. And it's funny because last year at MegaCon, or the last 2 years, they only had Dragon's Milk.
Ever.
And I saw a lot of drunk people because a lot of people did not realize that all their beers are 11% and up.
Yeah, they're very heavy.
And
This
they go
year,
down so
unfortunately,
smooth and easy and nice
Yeah.
and tasty. They're so
Yeah, this year Wicked Weed took over, unfortunately, which it was nice to have a good IPA, but they're InBev.
They are.
Mhm.
Oh, I will
They
say
weren't always.
there is a brewery in North Carolina in Charlotte that is the former brewer for Wicked Weed opened his own brewery called Amor Artists.
Oh
And if you're ever in Charlotte, it's a small little place. They have like 10 taps, and it's not here's 6 IPAs and 4 other things. It's every tap, every tap is a different beer style. And like that's if you can do that in a small environment, that's real fucking skill to be able to just pull off, 10 different beer styles on 10 taps. But
Yeah.
like I would highly recommend going seeing them if you're in Charlotte.
Oh, dude, Charlotte's beer scene is amazing. I go there once in a while just because my wife's family's from Raleigh. We're 3 hours from Raleigh, so we'll drop the kids off, go to Charlotte. Last time I went there was Christmas Eve for a Green Bay Packers game, actually. And like Sycamore Brewing's amazing. And we popped into a couple of other breweries like right on that strip. I have to go back on my phone and look because I can't remember the names now. But they were awesome. The Charlotte beer is amazing.
Yeah, there's Weathered Souls opened a
Yeah,
place
they
there.
did. Yes.
And if you want high gravity beers, holy shit.
Dude,
Like,
Weathered
there's-
You got to
Souls
go
is
to the
one
one
of.
in San Antonio, didn't you?
I did. 2 years ago, I went to the Weathered Souls, and we're friends with actually, loosely friends
We
with
had Marcus on
Marcus.
Yeah,
on the Hops News.
they follow our pages actually, and the beers and the vibe at the actual Weathered Souls like home station in San Antonio, they are, honest to God, I will say they are one of the absolute top two, not two best breweries in America right now, with all of the things that they're doing, events, beer, just getting out into the scene and the community. Dude, they are amazing.
And they released a second. So they did, obviously, when Marcus
The
came on,
IPA
he was
version,
just
yeah.
kicking off the Black is Beautiful campaign. And then they did a volume 2 with a hazy. And for some reason, that one did not take off the way the first one did. But the few that I've had, like, I mean, I know he gives you like the base recipe and then you can do what you want. It's kind of like a smash fest kind of thing. And like every one I've had has been fantastic. Like he seems
Agreed.
to know what he's doing with the whole brewing process. And
Well,
yeah,
he travels all over the country doing so many guest spots. He's amazing.
that's
Yeah.
the dream, man. Traveling around brewing beer.
Yeah.
Greg.
So I got one serious question, one messy question, and then Doug will have a question, and then we'll probably get out of here, y'all.
All right. What?
The messy question? Going, Doug?
No, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
You can say that. Oh, the messy question. Simple. Y'all can't get this wrong. Okay. It's so easy. It's a toss up. Y'all should be able to get this one right. Okay.
Oh,
It's pretty
right there
simple.
like this. It's B.
Don't
Oh, it's
fuck this one
always
up.
B.
It's B.
It's B.
B.
Okay.
Why is this a debate?
Okay. Cool.
My mom
I
literally
don't know.
has something
Somebody
in her
said A
bathroom about
once,
how
and
this
I don't.
is like a requirement. My mom and her
Right.
sister literally got into like an
Right.
argument about this
So
one
now-
day. Yeah.
I was maybe looking for one, but y'all got it. Y'all smart. Okay. Here's my serious question. Not really a serious question, but kind of serious in the context of what we've been talking about. So I want y'all to explain the importance or the fun, or if there is an importance of going to conferences like y'all do. Doug and I met at one of these conferences. We met at Dad 2.0 Summit, which was a summit for dad bloggers, basically. Doug and I met there, and a couple months later, I gave him a ring, and the rest is history with this Friday evening stream. I know y'all met online, but y'all really embraced the whole the conference thing and meeting. So I don't know if y'all want to talk about how important that was as far as building your podcast for sure. But I could almost see that it strengthened your friendship by, y'all meeting and, having that time to bond as friends and all that. So I don't know if Matt or Lauren, whatever one, if one of you, both of you want to answer that one, but I know it's important to y'all. So I want y'all to give y'all kind of tee y'all off to talk about it.
Yeah, I think we could both very much so handle this question. With the, for us, it would be the Comic-Cons. And yeah, we had been doing the podcast forever. The first time we met in person, our families met and we got to go to Disney, and it was a fantastic experience. But I feel like the first time we really got to truly share an experience together was at a con. And shout out to Matt's wife too, Carrie, because she was there to not only help us, but she filmed stuff for us. She encouraged us to do stuff, and she really like put us kind of on that trajectory of like, this is what you guys are doing. You're creating this. Like our first live thing we ever recorded together, Matt's wife filmed for us. And that was when we got to interview the clerks, Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson we literally walked away from that like so high. Like what just happened?
I bet.
It was amazing. And so I feel like the cons and the conventions is this fantastic spot, no matter what it is, whether it's a dad con, a Comic-Con, a beer con, GABF or anything. It's a place for people with mutual interests who might not have anything else in common or may have a ton more things in common to truly bond and share and have that camaraderie and share an experience that you wouldn't get to have anywhere else. So I think that's why they are so important.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. It's one of those things like it's weird because Lauren and I, the 4 times we've actually gotten together in person, 2 of them have been Comic-Cons, which are super stressful. Yet this past one, for example, was a lot of fun because we were just like, dude, we're just going with the flow. And what's so special about Comic-Cons is the fact that it's like-minded individuals all getting under one roof. You're there for the same reason. It's I want to show off my cosplay. I want to show off my fandom. I want to see the cool people that are making things amazing. And that's what it is. It strengthens your fandom. You get to meet cool new people. You get to meet that celebrity that could possibly mean the world to you. And that's something you get to take home with you, man. Like, who cares if you pay $400 for a picture? That picture may hang on your wall for the rest of your life, and that's a good story. It doesn't matter about that. That is your moment to just feel like you're you. In day and age that a lot of us don't have a space to essentially get to be ourselves outside of podcasts or breweries or whatever it may be. I feel like Comic-Cons really have become those things, and it's such a wonderful time, such a wonderful place to get together with like-minded people, meet new friends, and yeah, it's like Lauren said, it's just such a good time, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback on that a bit if I can. So one of the things that you folks recently got to interview Patton Oswalt, who is like my top 2 person I'd love to have on this stream. Like that guy he's a nerd and he's just really fucking funny. I actually got to see him in concert with my wife, and that was like a thing that I walked out of that, like you said, like one of the things you walk in, you're just like, fuck, I got to see him live. That was great. And so we enjoyed the shit out of that. How did that actually happen? Was that a Comic-Con thing? Was it like I just want to know, because to me, that just, you look at something like, so I aspire to, like, Greg knows, like when I go for guests, I kind of tend to shoot for the moon for some guests, and I've been lucky and I've hit some.
So you got us.
And yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Greg was like, we got to have these folks on. And I was like, okay. And here's the thing, because there's so many like niche things that happen online that sometimes you just miss things that are just really obvious. Like, this is really obvious. I should be listening to you guys, right? Because you're right in my wheelhouse of everything that I hold dear. But like, how did it come to pass that you got to interview Patton fucking Oswalt? Because I said I was going to be swearing at you at this podcast because I was like, fuck.
I'm still not sure.
Well, all right. So one of the great things that this podcast has afforded us is we have met some really good people. And so a few of us like-minded individuals have come together under one umbrella, and we write comic book reviews each and every week for Nerd Initiative. Yeah. So there's a website called nerdinitiative.com. And it's a place where we get to write comic book reviews mostly. And so we are on all of the press list: Marvel, DC, Distillery, Image, Dark Horse, for example, which Dark Horse loves Lauren. If you are not reading like Lauren's writings, I'm not even going to let her talk for a moment because I just want to hop on my soapbox. Lauren is one of the absolute best writers as far as reviews that I've ever gotten a chance to. I will look at her reviews and be like, how can I get better? And that's just because she's fucking amazing.
I'm just gonna turn this off so I'm not blushing.
But no, like,
I don't take compliments well.
I've even told, I've told Josh, Lauren's husband, this, and I was like, because we were talking one day, I was like, dude, I look at what Lauren's doing and I'm like, how can I emulate that? Because she's just that fucking good. And that's a testament to how strong our podcast is and what Nerd Initiative does. And so being on all of these press lists, you get to just reach out to the publicists and you're like, hey, I see Patton Oswalt, for example, and Jordan Blum, who has done American Dad, who has done MODOK, and Scott Hepburn, who has drawn Deadpool. And it's like, hey, do they want to come on and talk about their comic book Minor Threats or the alternates?
We talked about the comic book.
So the publicist reach out to them. Hey, do you guys want to do this? They say yes. Let's pimp this comic book out that's coming out in April.
Because they saw the reviews and we're like, oh, okay, we like the reviews. Like, we're down to have,
because Lauren's an amazing writer. Yeah. So
But
they see her
we had to
review.
send the questions ahead of time. They had to review the questions and make sure like we weren't asking like
It's not as simple as, hey, do you want to come on? And he's like, yes. There are steps, and it's a lot of coordination behind the scenes. Like, hey, does this day work? No. Okay. So it's like, does our schedule line up? Does their schedule line up? And it just so happened to
and
line
I
up
was like,
last
I'll do
night.
whatever I can. I was like, sorry,
I
Josh, you got to pick up the
I
kids today.
disappeared
can't
out of
do
work
this. I'm
early.
interviewing Remy.
Yeah, I absolutely disappeared out of work 3 hours early. I was like, peace, I'm gone. Goodbye. And
Yeah, normally I would have never told anybody that I could do that time if it had not been.
and
been him.
it was Patton Oswalt, Jordan Bloom, Scott Hepburn, and we got to talk
Make it
about their
happen.
comic book that comes out April 3rd. It's a Minor Threats Volume
so
2.
Fun and amazing, and like
It's
that comic book is phenomenal. If you're not reading Minor Threats or the alternates, you should go grab it. It's 4 issues for Minor Threats, 4 issues for the alternates, and we got to get a glimpse of the first issue of Volume 2.
it's so good.
Fucking phenomenal. Like
So good.
Jordan Bloom, one of the writers who's writing it with Patton Oswalt, compared the Volume 2 to The Godfather 2, and I'm like, ha, this guy really thinks high of himself. And
I'm
then
very
I read
surprised
it,
Lauren
and I
even
was
saw
like,
Godfather 2, first of all.
I own that trilogy. How do you not own the trilogy of
I'm
Godfather?
kidding, because you
I own it
haven't
on
seen so many
Blu-ray.
things.
But I've seen all the mafia things. Those are the
I'm very
things that
impressed.
matter.
I know you bought a bank. I know.
Goodfellas is one of the best movies ever. But yeah, no, I love mafia stuff, fictional and non. And we even talked about this tonight, talking about Griselda. But it was reading that the little glimpse that we got to that we're not allowed to talk about. I was like, fuck, this is so amazing. Like the first 4 issues of Minor Threats was great, and the alternates I loved. And then reading this, it's one of those you read and you're like, I hope to God that one day they make this into live action, because it will kill.
Yeah.
And when he told us the origin, when Patton Oswalt told us the origin of how he came about it, he wanted to do it as a Batman Joker story, but they wanted to own it. And that is how this came about. So that's when you know, like, I need to get in on the ground of this. I need to read this while it's happening, because as long as there's an audience, there are so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
And they're creating an amazing universe.
And it wasn't one of those like we get to ask Patton or whomever a million questions about everything else. It was, no, we're focused on the comic book, which is even more rad, because it's like he's a human being, man. He's gets to do cool shit for his
Right.
job, right?
It felt
And
natural.
Lauren pitched like an idea, and he absolutely fucking loved her idea. And I guarantee you we're going to see it in one of their comic books coming out, because he was so over the moon about it. And
That
the
would be
fact that he
so
was,
cool.
but that's what we need to realize is, like, you know, when you were talking about basically like, yeah, I just like to shoot for the moon. Honestly, that's what I do with our podcast. Like Lauren sometimes is like, I can't believe you got this guest. And it's like, it's
Matt's
because
phenomenal with that. He will ask anybody and everybody, and I'm like, I don't want to bother anybody. And like he gets these 2 dudes who write for Marvel and Star Trek and Batman, and like
we ended up partying with them at MegaCon. And now his phone number is in my phone. And it's one of those things that's like, dude, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all fucking love nerd shit. Yeah, we love this nerd shit, especially when it comes to comic books. And we all just love this. And that's that's it right there. Yeah. And that's all you have to do is just ask, because it's gonna be a no. If they say no, cool. It was a no if you didn't ask. So the worst case you did is you asked and they say yes.
Right.
And surprisingly, a lot of people have said yes to our podcast.
Wasn't Minor Threats a Fugazi thing?
A what thing? A Fugazi thing?
Fugazi, which he mentioned on a one of his earlier comedy specials.
It might have been.
That's how much I like fucking Patton Oswalt. One of his comedy specials from 20 fucking years ago. I knew what that was.
Coming out Monday, we'll drop the episode on Monday where they kind of dive into like the whole origin story behind Minor Threats and like what inspired them and things like that. So if you're interested in this, that drops Monday on our stuff. But yeah, like Patton's talking about how he'll see the minorest detail, and he'll be like, that needs to be a story. And it's just incredible getting to see how his brain works. It's a fucking work of art. And it's just, we've had so many moments lately that are like, I cannot believe this is our life. I'll text Lauren. I'll be like, this is our life right now. And she's like, I know. and it's fun, man. And I encourage anybody who starts a podcast or anybody who writes or anybody who, it doesn't matter what you do, just like talk to them, reach out to
Right.
them. And the worst they can say is no. And all right, they were never on to begin with, so we're in the same place I started with.
Yeah, the only time I've been genuinely nervous was when we interviewed Derek Robertson, who is the co-creator of The
Mine was
Boys.
Jeff Johns.
Okay, that would make me nervous as fuck because that show is unbelievably fucking great.
Yes, and I felt like I needed to like reread the whole comic before he came on, and I didn't have time, and it was just And we also had to be careful because
spoilers.
we weren't allowed to. Obviously, you can't ask them questions like what's going to happen because he's privy to the next season of The Boys, and so we couldn't do anything. But it was like you wanted to say things and theorize. But in no way, like I watch a trailer and then I won't watch any more trailers. I don't want spoilers. I hate spoilers. But like you had to also be very mindful. Like you don't want to put this person in a position that they're going to feel like they're trying to pull something out of me. I literally am contractually obligated to not say. So I was nervous on multiple levels with that one. That was literally the only interview I think we've ever had that I was actually nervous.
Mine was Jeff Johns, without a doubt, because Jeff Johns started the DC. He wrote some of my favorite Flash stories, man. And next thing you know, we're at Mega.
Sweet.
He was, and then next thing you know, we're at MegaCon covering Jeff Johns' panel for press, and they're posting on their YouTube, and it's just so many what the fuck is our life moments, and that's how it starts, man.
Right.
You just reach out to people, and you never know. You knock on a door, you never know who's going to answer.
Opening his beer with your flip flop. They use my flip flop bottle opener to open the beer.
That is excellent. That is excellent. That is excellent. Well, we want to thank y'all for coming on. Your story is fascinating. I would like to personally invite y'all back to take over the stream at some point if you want. Y'all take over. Y'all bring in the guests. It'll probably be Doug or I here with you. One of us may take the night off, but and y'all can control and bring your brand here. We kind of mess with you a little bit today. It wasn't a Hops News, a Hop Geek News full broadcast, but we would like to do that if y'all would talk. We'll talk about that afterwards. But until I'm sorry, Doug. Do you have any more questions outside of the whole?
Oh, I have a lot, but if I
outside of the whole con thing.
No, I have a million questions, but we'll be here for 4 or 5 hours. We'll be here longer than Zach, so let's not do that.
Right. These guys are busy, and so I kind of wanted to limit it to you guys are busy, man, and we respect y'all's time, everybody's time. So, but Doug, do you have any last questions? Or this is a final question, if anything. It's cool.
I have one, and it's very quick. Are you guys fans of Stephen King?
Yes.
So I actually read my first Stephen King book this past October.
Oh,
I read ones. So I actually read Skeleton Key. So it's a collaboration. I read The Mist, and there was a bunch of other ones. So they were all ones from like the 70s and the 80s. And I'm like, he seems a little fucking sexist to me. So this next Halloween,
on cocaine, dude.
Exactly. So this next Halloween season, I intend on reading something newer.
Ooh, we're gonna have a Stephen King month, maybe, or a Stephen King episode.
Oh yeah, let's do that. 100%.
We haven't done that yet. Yeah.
I'm big on the focusing the scary in October.
Yep. What were you gonna say, Greg?
Yeah, and Doug's setting up. Yeah, Doug's wonderfully setting up this actually.
Hell
which
yeah,
is next
dude.
week, y'all, on Brothers and Booze.
So those guys. So Renee is a friend of mine. We do a show on this network called The Cult Bar, where we basically talk about cults all the time. But Renee is a giant Stephen King fan. So I was able to book Scott and Matt, who do King Slingers, which is a podcast where basically they read Stephen King books. Scott has read all the Stephen King books. Matt has read none of them. So basically they go through and they basically like read them together, and then they talk about it for like 2.5 hours. It's a great podcast. It's really interesting because they delve into a lot of things that I don't even think of. I've read a boatload of Stephen King books, not as many as Renee. Renee's way more. Renee actually has some news about Stephen King stuff that she's going to drop in the next show. But if you're into Stephen King, this is going to be a super fun show to watch and listen to.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I actually already have more in my to read pile for next October. So that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What's that, Greg?
Doug?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
That is one of my favorite fucking clips ever. The whole thing is about this guy as a soccer coach and just how things went wrong. And he's like, sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit. And I was just like, that is just the best fucking clip I've ever heard in my life.
Right. So it could be good and it could be shit. So we'll see. Show up next week and we'll see.
Guess first. Review your beers.
Ladies first. Guess we do a review. Yeah, we review your beers. Tell us what you had, what you liked. Did you get rid of the cans already?
I have them right here. I have them right here. All right, so I have 2 rows.
Ladies first, Matthew.
I didn't hear you, and I thought you were fumbling around, so it's helping out.
I like that Greg is like walking, so it's like he's like in a music video, and then he just like comes closer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt. We're listening.
No, by all means, ladies first, Lauren.
Then we're going youngest to oldest. You go.
All right, fine. Well, I drank 2 coffee beers tonight because I'm old and I needed to get my heart rate up. So the first one was Espressway from 2 Roads cold brew. I thought it was for a stout. It was very stout forward. It had a little bit of a hint of coffee. It smelled on the back end. It smelled more like coffee than it did taste like coffee. I thought it was pretty good. However, this one from Cashel Brewery out of Hampton, Virginia, the coffee blonde, man, this one had that coffee flavor you look for when you're drinking something that has coffee inside of it. It was delicious. It was smooth. It was light. It was crisp. All while having the hint of coffee hit your nose and your tongue. Delicious. Now, Lauren, by all means, please go ahead.
Making me look forward to that coffee in the morning. So I actually started my night. I'm going to do a shout out to Beer Babes family. I started my night at Gatlin Hall Beer Brewing this tonight in Orlando, Florida. If you have not heard about Beer Babes family, they're an awesome nonprofit organization. They go around the country and in Canada, and they do collaborations with different breweries. I got to sit in on a brew day with Gatlin Hall, with Hourglass Brewing, and with Rock Pit Brewing. And over the weekend, they're releasing all those beers. Tonight was an English mild. Fucking phenomenal. I had 3 of those. It was only 4%. So good, so flavorful. And the proceeds go to the nonprofit, which helps women in the beer industry, whether they own a brewery, starting to get like a brewery started up. You got to support women in beer 100%. It's phenomenal. And so that is what I started drinking. And then I had a very high ABV stout at the brewery too before I left. And then I drank the one I talked about at the beginning of this episode, Calusa. Again, I don't understand why Calusa is not more well known, because their beer is so good. I get why it's not more well known because of the lack of distribution, but they're so phenomenal. There you go, Beer Babes family. And then I am finishing up right now the Dragon Milk Stout, which was inspired by one of your viewers. And Doug is also drinking a Dragon's Milk Stout. Their beer is also phenomenal. Okay. That's what I've been drinking all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you for pulling that up. That's really cool.
Yeah. Greg, you want me to go next? All right. So I'm going to start with this thing. This was fun can, fun name.
Who farted?
It was not my bag. 15%, which normally might be my bag, except it tasted like a malt beverage. And I don't like malt beverages. That is not a taste that I go for.
No one does who's graduated from high school.
Yeah. So Dunkable was my next. This was very sweet. So it was okay, but it's like really, 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 really sweet. So I did finish this. I did not finish this. I handed this to my 22-year-old boyfriend's son, or my son's boyfriend. Let me say it the other way around. Boyfriend, son, whatever. That's
We understand. You're good.
So this one was actually
now, Doug? Okay.
not currently, but anyway, the Backyard Prince. This was a milk stout with cinnamon and vanilla. This is good, very cinnamon forward, but very good. But the best thing I have is obviously the Dragon's Milk. That was fucking phenomenal. So, and it always will be.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't had a beer that was cinnamon forward.
Dragon's Milk.
That sounds really
always the
good.
winner.
Yeah.
What'd you have, Greg?
So I had two Ale Asylum classics here, the Contorted Porter, very good straightforward porter, and a Triple Nova, which is a triple, very straightforward triple. The other one I had was a straight lager it was Ears Up from Fernson out of South Dakota.
Ooh.
And that was good too. They were all really good to their styles, nothing crazy outside of them, and nothing spectacular. But sometimes that's what you need, y'all. You know, you don't need to be blown away. Sometimes you just need that style to hit, and it hits perfectly. And on that note, I want to thank Matt. Normally, we say goodbye to our guests. We end, but we're just going to say goodbye to y'all, and we'll go out together. We'll talk to y'all on the other side of that end stream comment button there. And we want to thank all of our friends for joining us. We had wonderful audience participation. At this point, without y'all, Doug and I can't do it. I mean, we can do it, but it's way more fun with y'all. Next week, you will not see me on screen, most likely, but you will see Doug and Renee, and you will hear a bunch about Stephen King. So that is going to be fun. I know nothing about Stephen King besides the fact that I know for a fact that Misery, the book, is vastly better than that stupid-ass movie. And other than that, that's all I know about Stephen King.
He's a sick
and
motherfucker.
On that note, we'll say goodbye. But I want to thank Lauren and Matt again.
Thank you.
Yeah, they somebody thought Daniel thought I was in Jamiroquai. Daniel's dating himself with that, by the way.
Oh, did I laugh too hard and I dated myself?
Definitely. Right. Doug knows that shit too. I don't know why he didn't laugh.
Matt probably doesn't get the joke.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, and then
I don't think Matt does. Do you get
Jamiroquai makes me want to dance, Doug. Like this.
That damn video.
And on that note, we'll see y'all next week.
Yep.
Cheers.
Peace.
She wants to
Thanks,
make
Matt and Lauren.
America great again.